Introducing the transcription feature, Superman. The sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman. And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. As you remember, Kent, as Superman, had completely cleared up the mystery of the vanished freight car and saved his friend Jimmy Olsen from death by holding up a dynamited bridge while Jimmy's train was passing over it. Back at the Daily Planet, Jimmy and Kent were called into Editor White's office. A pile of stones lay on the editor's desk in a strange design, and Mr. White, visibly upset, explained that it was an Indian warning of impending death. Mr. White asked Jimmy to get him a glass of water. Just as Jimmy reached for the water bottle, a strange thing happened.
Have a drink of water. Jimmy, hand me that water bottle.
Sure, Mr. White, I'll get it.
Holy mackerel. Did you see that? The water bottle. It shattered into a million pieces just as you reached for it.
Oh, what could have done that?
The thing that did it is lying on the floor. Pick it up, Jimmy.
Jeepers, Mr. Kent. Look what it is.
Kent, do you see what that is?
Yes, Mr. White. It's an arrow.
Now, quick, Kent. Whoever shot that thing in here must be outside in the city room. Don't let him get away.
Relax, Perry. I'm not going to run away. Still as jittery as ever, huh?
Something keep us looking, Mr. Kent. An Indian.
Full regalia, war bonnet and everything.
Well, Perry White, aren't you glad to see your old friend?
Joe.
Man, you're acting like a bronco that's just been busted.
Comanche Joe. Well, where on earth did you come from?
Oh, I blew in from Texas early this morning, Perry. I'm here on a sort of shopping spree. Looked you up the first thing. I'm sorry if my little joke upset you. The stones on your desk, I mean, and the water bottle, I'll buy a new one, you know.
Comanche Joe. Why, I haven't seen you in nearly 14 years.
No?
Hey, Kent, Jimmy, I want you to meet one of the best friends a man ever had. Comanche Joe.
How do you do?
Put it there, friend. Glad to know you, Sonny.
Gee, are you a full-blooded Indian?
Jimmy.
That's all right, Perry. Yes, Jimmy, I'm a full-blooded Comanche. That's why I'm called Comanche Joe.
Comanche here made a killing in the western oil fields years ago. He's one of the richest oil men in the country today.
What I'm wondering about, Chief, is how you know each other. I didn't know you'd ever been out west.
Why, sure, Kent. That's where I started my career, on a small newspaper in Colorado.
Well.
I've known Comanche Joe for years. Well, Joe, it's certainly good to see you again. So you're in town on a shopping trip, are you?
Well, it's a little more than that, Perry. I really made this trip to hire a private detective.
Private detective?
Oh, yes, Mr. Kent. I've been having a little trouble out at my oil field. Trouble of very peculiar nature.
Well, tell us about it, Comanche. Sounds interesting.
Well, it's something so queer, so peculiar that, well, I can't believe it's possible. It all has to do with a coyote.
A coyote?
Yes, Jimmy. You see, out in my particular section of the country, there's an old Comanche legend about an Indian brave who committed a crime against the tribe and who was turned into a coyote to punish him. The story goes that whenever an accident is going to happen or someone's going to meet death, anything like that, the howl of the coyote is heard.
Gee, that sounds exciting.
Well, it's only an old Indian legend, you know. At the same time, some queer things have been happening out at the oil fields. Let me tell you what happened only about a week ago. One of the strangest things that's ever occurred to me.
Well, go ahead, Comanche. We're all ears.
Yes, we certainly are.
Well, it was a pretty wild and stormy night. Rain had been falling all day and all night, and the wind was blowing a gale that would take your hair off. My ranch foreman and myself were in the living room of my house, going over the account book.
And that, Comanche, is all clear profit. We'll be shipping another 10,000 barrels in number 2 crude tomorrow.
That's fine, Rawson. By the way, how's that driller getting along?
You mean Swanstrom?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. The explosion of that TNT didn't leave him in any too good shape.
I know it. Poor devil.
Yeah?
I hope you're seeing to it that his expenses are taken care of, and his wife and family.
I am, don't worry. You know, Comanche, it's a peculiar thing about that coyote howling.
Now, Rawson, pure coincidence, nothing more.
I wonder. It's a peculiar howl. Kind of different from any other coyote I've ever heard. We've had 3 accidents, Comanche. Before each one, just before it, we've heard that coyote yap his fool head off. Well, then it's time to get me.
Oh, don't be a fool, Rawson. If anyone should believe in an old Comanche Indian legend, I'm the one, not you. Well, I don't put any stock in it.
Listen. You hit it?
Well, what about it? Just another coyote.
This one sounds different. There's a tune in that, Jeff, and I've never heard before except when the thing...
Hey, Comanche Joe!
Here, what is it?
Why, I take it as quick as I could. There's been an accident with number 4. Pete Saunders.
What about Saunders?
We were placing a drill when the boom on the derrick snipped off. Fell on him square, and he's in a bad way.
That coyote...
Never mind the coyote now. Come on, Rawson. We've got to see what can be done for Saunders.
Well, what happened, Joe?
Perry, we left the ranch house and hurried over to number 4. But we were too late. When we got there, Saunders was already dead. Rawson and I went back to the ranch house.
Well, Comanche, you believe in the coyote now?
It isn't possible, Rawson. Such things don't happen. The story of the coyote foretelling bad news before it happens is nothing more than a legend. I tell you... What are you staring at?
The papers on your desk. The report we was going over a little while ago.
Well, what about them?
Look.
A footprint. The footprint of a coyote.
Right in the middle of the page. As if the animal had stepped on it. Well, what do you think now, Comanche?
I don't know. But I do know this. I'm convinced there's something behind this coyote business, and I'm going to find out what it's all about. Rawson, I'm leaving for Metropolis tomorrow.
By golly, Comanche Joe, that's the strangest story I've heard in a long time.
Certainly is. But there must be some down-to-earth solution to it.
Well, if there is, I'm afraid it's going to take a Superman to find it. The detective agency I contacted is sending a man out next week.
Comanche, I smell a story here. Well, I'd like to send Clark Kent out to your place to cover it for the paper. What do you say?
Why, glad to have him. And how about Jimmy here? I've never yet seen a boy who wouldn't be glad to spend some time riding horses and roping cattle and learning how to shoot.
Gee, Mr. White, could I go too? Could I, huh?
Well...
Chief, I'll go only on the stipulation that you let Jimmy go with us.
You'll go where, when, and how I send you, Kent, or take your walking papers.
Uh-oh.
However, Jimmy can go, too.
Yippee! Ride him, cowboy. When do we start, Mr. Comanche?
Drop the Mr. Jimmy. As to when we start, the quicker you and Mr. Kent can get ready, the better I like it.
How long before we reach your place, Comanche?
Another half hour, Jimmy. How do you like riding in a buckboard, eh?
Sure does buck.
I never expected to be taken out to your place from the train in a relic of the Old West, Comanche.
Well, the West is pretty modern these days, but I like to keep it the way it used to be, Kent. You can have your automobiles. I'll take a team of horses and a wagon in this country anytime.
Gee, Mr. Kent, look at that view way across the mountains.
Yeah, wonderful, isn't it? Just the way I always imagined it would be.
Gee, we're going up pretty high, too. Right along the edge of this cliff.
Oh, don't get nervous, Jimmy. We go much higher than this. It's a pretty narrow road running along the edge of the precipice, but the horses are sure-footed. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh, I'm not worried. Not in the least.
Of course not. Well, Mr. Kent, I'm inclined to think you'll get the story you're looking for out here.
I've been wondering about that, Comanche. This business of the coyote intrigues me. Of course, there must be some down-to-earth reason for it. Do you know of anyone who'd want to do you an injury?
No, not a soul. I've never done anything to harm anyone. I don't think anyone would want to harm me.
I wonder.
Are we going to go any higher?
Oh, we keep climbing for quite a while yet, Jimmy.
Well, listen up.
Now, Jimmy, if you're going to enjoy yourself out here, you've got to keep your nerve about you. It takes a certain amount of courage, you know, to ride a horse and rope cattle. I hope to have you doing that soon.
Gosh.
Oh, and by the way, Kent, if you want to get some real local color, we'll go over to the Comanche Reservation someday.
Oh.
Most of my family still live on the reservation, and I can arrange a good many tribal ceremonials.
Oh, you mean like war dances and things?
Yeah, that's right, Jimmy. I know you'll enjoy them because...
What's that?
That's the howl of a coyote.
Is that the sound that warns of approaching danger?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. Of course, every time you hear a coyote out here, it doesn't mean that something's going to happen, and yet...
Yes?
Rawson said there was something different in the tone of that coyote we've been hearing. And I think I felt the difference in the one we just heard. If he comes again, I'll know for sure that it's the actual coyote we've been hearing.
You know, somehow there's something so odd, so fantastic about this whole setup.
Hey, listen. That rumbling.
Where's it coming from?
I can hear it, but I can't tell.
Look, right above us. The mountain is moving, coming down on us. It's an avalanche, and we're right in its path.
Keep it, Mr. Kent. Look at it. Comanche, what do we do?
We can't turn back on this narrow trail. Our only chance is to get through before the avalanche gets to us. Get up there! Get it up!
Once again, the coyote was heard, a warning of impending danger. Now our friends are in a pretty bad spot. Will Clark Kent be able to save them without revealing his identity as Superman? What is the mystery that surrounds this strange howling of the coyote? What new thrills and dangers await Superman and Jimmy Olsen in the Great West? Be sure to hear the next episode of this new thrilling adventure story with Superman. And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look! It's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky, look! It's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman! And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen are now in the midst of another baffling mystery. In our last episode, we met for the first time the strange character known as Comanche Joe, a full-blooded Indian friend of Editor White, and one of the richest oil men in America. Comanche Joe had come to the city to hire a detective in order that he might solve the mystery of the Howling Coyote, a coyote which howled just before some terrible thing was to happen. Editor White, sensing a good story, sent Kent and Jimmy to spend a few weeks with Comanche Joe on the Indian's ranch. As our last episode ended, our friends were driving along a narrow trail from the station to Comanche Joe's ranch when the cry of the coyote was heard. And then, shortly after, the terrible thing happened. Listen.
Golly, that coyote sounded eerie.
Wait a minute. Look. Look. That's an avalanche coming at us.
An avalanche?
Yes, Jimmy. The whole side of the mountain is sliding down toward us.
Gosh, the howling of that coyote really meant something.
Comanche, if the avalanche doesn't bury us, it'll throw us off into the canyon.
Maybe we get past before the avalanche hits us. Get up there. Hurry up. Get going. Up. Come on.
We'll never make it, Comanche.
Rocks are starting to fall all around us. Look at those big boulders flying through the air.
We've got to get past. We've got to get past. Faster. Faster. Keep moving now. Hurry up.
Comanche, look out!
Pull up there.
Boy.
Steady.
Gosh, Mr. Kent.
Steady.
Did you see that? That huge boulder hit the trail and went right through.
Yes, and took half the trail with it. Well, Comanche, we were certainly lucky to have missed that. But we can't get through now. The trail isn't wide enough for the wagon.
Wait a minute, Kent. That avalanche is still cooking up there. We better get out and run for it.
Yes, you're right. The whole mountain will be coming down on us.
Will be. Look, it is coming down on us.
Huh? We're finished. We can't go back and we can't move forward. We're right in the path of that avalanche.
It's the end, all right. Look at those trees flying through the air. Hundreds of them uprooted. And the rocks and...
Oh, Jimmy, what?
He's been knocked down. A falling rock, a small one. Hit him on the head. He's unconscious.
Oh, I see.
Kent, I thank the gods for that. You won't have to live through the horrible fate that awaits you and me.
Yes, Comanche, you're right.
Look, it's really coming down on us now. The whole side of the mountain.
No.
15 seconds from now, it'll be all over.
Look, Comanche. Look over there.
What?
Had to do that. I had to knock him out.
Now, as Superman, I'll grab the horses by their bits and speed through the air so fast that the wagon itself won't fall. Up, up, and out over the canyon. Up and away! Just in time. Now to land them all safely on the canyon floor. There we are. Now to set the scene for my explanation. Now, let's see. I'll put Jimmy about 30 feet from the wagon. There. And put Comanche about 30 feet or so from Jimmy. So. Oh, Comanche's coming too. Better hurry. tip the wagon over, I can smash a good deal of it with my fist. There we are. Now to pretend unconsciousness as Clark Kent. Here, I'll lie down right here.
Are you sure you're all right, Jimmy?
Sure, Comanche. I'm feeling okay, except for this bump on my head. Riding up in front of you on this horse isn't too comfortable either.
Uh-huh. I will be at the ranch in another few minutes. Even though it isn't very uncomfortable for you, it's a lot better than walking, eh? How those horses escaped injury will always be a mystery to me.
Yeah, that is funny. The wagon itself was smashed to bits, and yet the horses were unharmed.
That's not the only strange part about it, Kent. Somebody knocked me out. I've got a funny feeling you did.
Oh, really, Comanche, you flatter me. Think of me knocking you out.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you must have been hit by a flying rock and then dreamed it maybe while you were unconscious.
Well, maybe I did. Though it sure does seem awfully real to me, as if it actually happened. My jaw feels terribly sore, too.
Well, that's probably where the rock struck you.
Yes, maybe. Maybe. Hang it all, Kent, this whole thing bothers me. There's something funny about it. Actually, all of us ought to be dead. We should be lying buried under tons of rock and earth at the bottom of the canyon. How we escaped, how we could have possibly escaped, well, I just can't figure it out.
Hey, what's that up ahead of us?
Huh? Oh, that's the ranch. We've arrived at last.
Oh.
The boys have caught sight of us. Oh, it'll be quite a welcome party, I can tell you that. Yep, here they come now, see?
Jeepers, look at them, all riding out to meet us.
Yeah.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, that's a sight, isn't it?
Certainly is, Jimmy.
Look at the dust those horses are kicking up.
Well, I better answer those yells of welcome, huh?
Holy mackerel, Comanche. That makes the hair on my head stand on end.
That's an old Comanche walk right, Jimmy. Here it is again.
Jeepers, Comanche, will you teach me how to yell like that?
I certainly will, Jimmy.
Hi there, Comanche. Too good to have you back with us.
Thanks, Rawson. I want you to meet some friends of mine, Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen.
Well.
This is my ranch foreman, Rawson.
How do you do, Rawson?
Well, we'll escort you all into the rain. Let's go, men.
Say, Comanche, who's that man over there on the gray horse?
Oh, the tall, skinny fellow with the hawk nose?
Oh, he looks about 8 feet tall to me.
That's Tumbleweed Jones.
Why, he's carrying a bow and a quiver of arrows instead of a gun.
Yeah, that's right. Tumbleweed never uses a gun. He does his hunting the way the Indians used to. He's the best shot with a bow and arrow in the country. He also makes the best fudge you ever ate.
He makes fudge?
Yes.
Gee, that's sissy stuff.
Now, Jimmy.
Don't let Tumbleweed hear you say that. Hey, Tumbleweed, right over this way, huh? I want you to meet Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen, Tumbleweed.
Gee, hello.
Hiya.
Well, Comanche tells us you're the best shot with a bow and arrow in these parts.
No, sir. I'm the best shot in the entire world.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Ain't nobody can beat me with a bow and arrow. Not even that there feller, Robert Hood. Have some fudge? Make it myself.
Well, sure. Thanks.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Comanche, how come you fellas riding in on the horses? What happened to that there buck boy?
Well, Tumbleweed, there's a story that'll top any tall yarn you've ever told. And you've sure told some tall ones.
You tell it, Comanche. I'll top it.
Well, we were riding along Misery Trail, about 5,000 feet above the canyon floor, when suddenly we heard the coyote howl.
Ah, the coyote again, eh?
Yes.
Guess you fellas has heard about that. That's the dangest thing ever did happen. Every time that coyote howls, something happens not long afterwards. It's an old Comanche legend, you know.
Yes, they know Tumbleweed. Well, as I was saying, we heard the coyote howl, and then shortly afterwards, an avalanche started.
Whoa!
Well, Rawson, here I am. Hello, Dusty. Let's get going. We can talk along the way.
Right. Rawson, I'm getting tired of riding way out here in the mountains for these meetings. Why can't we get together back at the ranch?
And take a chance letting the cat out of the bag? Don't be a fool, Dusty. Less you and me see each other back at the ranch, the better.
Okay, Rawson.
There it is.
What's on your mind this time? Whatever it is, I hope it's a better idea than that there avalanche scheme of yours.
Yeah, that's a funny thing how they escaped that avalanche. Can't understand it. Rode out there yesterday, just looked the place over. Dynamite did the trick, all right. A good half mile of that trail's been torn away.
Yet they escaped. Well, funnier things have happened. What you got cooking this time?
Well, I got a new angle, Dusty. Now, what we want to do is to get Comanche Joe into such a spot that he'll be glad to sell the ranch and the oil fields, lock, stock, and barrel for practically nothing.
Yeah.
Now, we got to convince him that old Indian legend about the coyote howling is really true. We got to work on that primitive superstition every Indian's got deep down inside him.
So far, this coyote gag hasn't convinced him of anything.
Well, okay. So what we got to do is work on Comanche Joe through his family.
You mean the old chief on the Comanche reservation?
Yeah, you got it. Old Chief Running Fox is Comanche Joe's father.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of how modern Comanche Joe thinks he is, he'll listen to whatever the old chief says. What we've got to do is to get Chief Running Fox to persuade Comanche Joe that the legend of the Howling Coyote is true. Now, once we get him believing that, the rest will be easy.
Now, how are you going to do it? How are you going to get next to Chief Running Fox?
Yeah, that's easy. Tonight at the reservation, they're holding a ceremony of welcome for this guy, Clark Kent, and the kid, Jimmy Olsen. I've heard they're going to make them both members of the tribe.
Yeah, that's right. So what?
Well, now, you know the part of the ceremony where the fella they're initiating has to do a dance on top of that big war drum they have.
Yeah, I've seen it lots of times. Has to get up on top of that big drum and dance around.
That's right. Well, okay, then. When the kid gets up on that drum, those Indians are going to hear the coyote howl.
Yeah, and then what?
You, Dusty, are going to be laying out in the woods. You'll have a rifle with you. You'll have your sights trained on that kid. It'll be a clear shot because you'll be all alone on top of the drum.
Ah. I think I get it. When I hear the coyote howl, I press the trigger.
You got it, Dusty. You got it. All you got to do is wing it. But don't miss, Dusty. Don't miss. Now, come on. Let's get back to the ranch. Get up there. Come on. Yep. Well, it begins to look as if our young friend Jimmy Olsen is in grave danger. Will Superman, himself unaware of the danger that threatens Jimmy, be able to save his young friend? Will Dusty and Rawson be able to frighten Comanche Joe into selling out his holdings? Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Look, it's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth on the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen are now visiting the ranch of Editor White's friend, Comanche Joe, out in the far west. Kent is to collect material for a story on the strange howling of a mysterious coyote, whose cry, according to Indian legend, means impending doom. In our last episode, we heard how Rawson, Comanche's ranch foreman, schemed to convince the Indian that the legend was actually true, so that he might force Comanche into selling his ranch and oil field for practically nothing. Jimmy and Kent are to be made members of the Comanche tribe. During the ceremony, Jimmy will have to do a dance on the great Comanche war drum. Meanwhile, Rawson's henchman, Dusty, will be lying off in the surrounding woods, waiting to shoot Jimmy with a rifle when he hears the coyote howl. No one besides the two villains, not even Clark Kent himself, knows of the danger that awaits Jimmy. We join them now on the Comanche reservation, where the tribal ceremony is taking place. Listen.
Comanche, this is really one of the most exciting things I've ever seen. Great fires blazing in the night, Comanche braves dancing around the great war drum.
Quite the picture, isn't it, Kent?
Certainly is.
You and Jimmy will have to do a dance on that drum before the night is over.
I'm afraid I'm not much on dancing.
Just watch how my brothers dance around the fire. You'll catch on to it easily enough.
Hey, by the way, where is Jimmy?
Oh, over there with Tumbleweed Jones.
Oh.
Kent, I have never seen two people take to each other so quickly as Tumbleweed and Jimmy. In 3 short days, they've become inseparable. Tumbleweed talks about nothing but that young friend of yours.
And Jimmy talks about nothing but Tumbleweed.
Oh, wait. My father approaches.
Oh, Chief Running Fox? I believe that's what he's called?
Yes.
Certainly a fine-looking man. Sort of majestic in that war bonnet and paint.
I'll leave Scripture Oh,
On the break. My father, I wish you to meet our friend, Clark Kent. Kent, when my father raises his hand, you raise yours.
How do you do?
we ready for ceremony. You ready?
I'm ready.
Little fella, him ready?
I believe he is, yes.
We begin. Hi, children. Ceremony about to start. Little fella, come forward.
Me, sir?
You.
Jimmy looks scared to death.
I don't blame him, though there's nothing to be afraid of. Here comes Tumbleweed.
He looked as if he's kind of enjoying all this.
Oh, he is. Hello, Tumbleweed.
Hiya.
Well, Jimmy looks scared to death, Tumbleweed.
Yeah, I've told him what to do and how to do it. Break his skinny neck if he don't do it like I told him.
How long is this ceremony going to last?
It'll take an hour or so for Jimmy. Then another hour for you.
Oh.
There, see? They're stripping him.
Yeah, what?
I've got to take those eastern clothes off him and dress him in buckskin.
Oh.
Then they'll paint his face all over. Better relax and watch all this carefully, Kent. In another hour or so, you'll be going through the same thing Jimmy's going through now.
The initiation of Jimmy Olsen into the Comanche tribe continues. Meanwhile, lying off in the woods, waiting for the moment when Jimmy will mount the great Comanche war drum, waiting for the signal of the coyote's howl, is Dusty, Ross and Tension. A bullet chambered in his .30-06 rifle. A bullet destined for Jimmy Olsen. The tribal ceremony progresses. Listen.
Kent,
Yes, Comanche?
the time has now arrived when Jimmy will climb onto the great Comanche war drum and perform the dance which will admit him to the tribe.
Gillen looks as if he's enjoying it all.
Yes, Tumbleweed. I could see he finally began to realize there was nothing to be afraid of. You see, they are walking Jimmy toward the drum.
It seems funny watching little Jimmy surrounded by all those medicine men in strange headdresses.
Yes.
Oh, your father, Chief Running Fox, is walking with him.
Yes, my father likes Jimmy very much.
What name are they going to give Jimmy?
He will be called Teknokosiklaka, Little Laughing Squirrel.
Oh. And what will they call me?
To the Comanche tribe, you will be known as Rokonikaklek, which means in Comanche, the man with two pair of eyes. That's because of the glasses you wear, Kent.
Oh, I see.
Look there. Jimmy's being hoisted onto the drum.
Now the little fella's got to start dancing. Better get started there, little fella. Old tumbleweed puts an arrow in the seat of your britches. Why, that's it, Jimmy. That's it.
Hey, Comanche, he's doing all right. Just like a real Indian.
Yes, Kent. He's got the spirit of the tribal ceremony. He will make a good brother to the Comanche.
I hope I can do as well. Oh, say, here comes your father, Chief Running Fox.
Young brave do fine. Him make good laughing squirrel.
I think he will, my father. How long before they... Kent, Tumbleweed, did you hear that?
Coyotes howl.
Comanche, you don't think that...
Danger near. Something happened.
My father, that's foolishness. That's just a coyote, that's all.
No, my son. When coyote howl, danger threaten. Is Comanche legend. Is true Comanche legend.
I refuse to believe it. Kent, I leave it to you. What do you... Kent. Tumbleweed, where did Kent go to?
I don't know. Didn't see him go, Comanche.
This looks as though it's going to be a job for Superman. If anything happens, I want to be ready for it. The howl of that coyote may mean nothing at all. At any rate, they're going ahead with the ceremony again. So if it does mean something, I'm not going to be taken off guard. Now, there's Jimmy over there, still dancing on that drum. Nothing but the night and the forest surrounding those Indian fires. If anything is going to happen... Wait. Can that be the glint of a rifle barrel over there in the trees? And great Scott, it's pointing toward Jimmy. Up, up! Oh, thank heavens I've caught the bullet. Up, up, and away!
Tumbleweed, did you see that?
I saw it, Comanche, but I ain't believing it.
I can't believe it myself. I think I saw a man swoop down under the knife, past Jimmy Olsen on the drum, then swoop back up into the darkness.
Thought I heard a rifle crack, too.
Well, Tumbleweed, whether we believe we saw it or not, my brothers certainly believe they saw it. Look at them, they're going wild.
Hey, what's been going on here?
Kent, where have you been?
Well, I just went around to the other side to get a better view of Jimmy dancing on that drum. What's happened?
Kent, you won't believe it when I tell you. While Jimmy was dancing on that drum, a figure, the figure of a man, a Superman, you might call him, flew down out of the night. Oh, hello, my father.
My son, your father, Chief Running Fox, salute and venerate you.
Why, I don't understand, my father.
You have brought into the tribe young warrior to us called Laughing Square. He will be great chief, great medicine man. He is protected by flying eagle in shape of man.
My father, do you believe you saw this thing?
My eyes are old, but they are keen. I saw. Hear me, my children. When I, Chief Running Fox, leave you to go to happy hunting grounds, you will make chief one who has just come to us. He is guarded by great medicine. He is protected by flying eagle in shape of a man. White man call him Jimmy. We call him Little Laughing Squirrel.
Great idea, Rawson. A great idea. Now the Comanches think the kid is the greatest thing that ever happened.
You hadn't missed with that right.
I tell you, I didn't miss. I'm a dead shot, and you know that.
You sure don't expect me to believe this story about Superman saving the kid.
I don't know what to believe. I saw something, but it was going so fast.
You're crazy.
I tell you,
Shut up and listen to me. Regardless of what happened, you still pull this thing out of the bag. Now listen. We want to get our hands on these oil wells that Comanche Joe owns. Our job is to convince the Comanche tribe and their chief running fox that the legend of the Howling Coyote really has something to it.
We'll never do it now with them believing the kid is protected by magic.
Oh, yes, we will.
But, Rawson, how you going to do it?
Now, look there. The kid's aces with the tribe now, ain't he?
Yeah.
They think he's protected by some kind of medicine. But now we got to show them that medicine don't work against the coyote. When that coyote howled last night, those Indians believed it was a sign of common danger. But we got to show them they were right in believing that.
So what?
So this afternoon, you're going to take that kid riding with you. You're going to take him riding on Gentle Lamb.
I don't get it.
You know Gentle Lamb as well as I do. He's the gentlest horse on the ranch until you touch him with spurs. So, Dusty, you got to see to it that little Jimmy Olsen, little laughing squirrel, wears spurs.
Why, that horse goes crazy when you touch spurs to him, Rawson. He'll kill the kid for
That's what I'm
sure.
driving at. Take the kid riding in the general direction of the Comanche reservation. You get some distance away from the ranch, you present him with a pair of spurs. Kid will wear them all right. The minute he touches Gentle Lamb with those spurs, the horse will go nuts, and it's certain for the kid. When the Indians find him laying dead on the trail, I'll fix it for the coyote to howl. You get me?
I get you. To get the ranch, we've got to convince Chief Running Fox that the legend about the Howling Coyote is really true. And to convince him of that, we got to get rid of the kid. Okay, Rawson. I'll take young Jimmy Olsen riding with me this afternoon. I think I can guarantee that he won't come back. No, sir, he won't come back.
Once again, Rawson, Comanche Joe's ranch foreman, plots against the life of Jimmy Olsen. Will he succeed in putting Jimmy out of the way? Will his plan to force Comanche Joe into selling his ranch meet with success? Be sure to hear the next exciting episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman.
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, as Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen are visiting Editor White's Indian friend, Comanche Joe, on his ranch in the far west. Unknown to anyone, Rawson, the ranch foreman, is trying to persuade Comanche Joe to sell his ranch and oil fields for practically nothing by making use of an old Indian legend which says that when a coyote howls, danger threatens. Many accidents and misfortunes have happened on the ranch, and they have always been preceded by the howl of a coyote. Now, last episode, We heard how Rawson's scheme to impress the Indians with the truth of the legend failed when Superman saved his young friend from a murderous bullet. But Rawson was not finished. As our last episode ended, he once again plotted against the life of Jimmy Olsen. Listen.
Well, the plan to get that kid while he was up on top of the drum was a flop, Rawson.
Shut up now and get this, Dusty. This afternoon, you're going to take that kid riding on Gentle Lamb.
I don't get it.
You know Gentle Lamb as well as I do. He's the gentlest horse on the ranch until you touch him with spurs. Well, Dusty, you got to see to it that little Jimmy Olsen, little laughing squirrel, wears spurs.
That horse goes crazy when you put spurs to him, Rawson. He'll kill a kid for sure.
That's what I'm driving at. Take the kid riding in the general direction of the Comanche reservation. When you get some distance away from the ranch, present him with a pair of spurs. Kid'll wear 'em all right. The minute he touches Gentle Lamb with those spurs, the horse will go nuts and it's curtains for the kid. When the Indians find him laying dead on the trail, I'll fix it for the coyote to howl. Get me?
I get you. Get the ranch, we've got to convince Chief Running Fox that the legend of the Howling Coyote is a real McCoy. That the ranch is bad medicine for Comanche Joe.
You got it.
Okay, Rawson. I'll take the kid riding. And I can guarantee he won't be coming back.
Comanche, where's Jimmy? Isn't he coming with you and me on this inspection of the oil field?
I don't think so, Kent. He said something about going for a ride with Dusty.
Oh.
Isn't that so, Tumbleweed?
Yeah. Here comes Dusty now. Say, is that the Gentle Lamb he's got with him?
Yes. I don't know whether we ought to let Jimmy ride that horse.
Why, what's wrong with him?
Just one thing. That horse is called Gentle Lamb because he is as gentle as a lamb until you put spurs to him. He'll be all right as long as Jimmy doesn't wear rowels.
Oh, there comes Jimmy now. Doesn't look as if he's wearing spurs to me.
He ain't. Nothing to worry about, I guess. Hi there, Dusty.
Hi, Tumbleweed. Taking your partner, Jimmy Olsen, for a ride. Hope you don't mind.
Just take care of him, that's all, Dusty. Anything happens to that boy, you'll answer to me.
Nothing will happen, Tumbleweed. You can count on me. Hey, kid, come on. Get up on Gentle Lamb here.
Holy mackerel, is that what that horse is called? Gentle Lamb? Can't you give me a horse with a little life in it?
Horse, Jimmy, not horse. You're even starting to talk like Tumbleweed Jones.
Anything wrong with the way I talk, Mr. Kip?
Well, for a Westerner, Tumbleweed, no. For an Easterner, yes.
Easterners. Tenderfeet.
Come on, Jimmy. Get up on the Gentle Lamb here.
Okay. Where are you going, Mr. Kent?
All right, Comanche's going to show me over the oil fields, Jimmy. Enjoy your ride.
Okay, I will. Say, Tumbleweed, why don't you come with us?
Kate, got work to do. See you later, Laughing Squirrel.
Okay. Let's go, Dusty. So long, everybody. Get up there. All the slow, Dad.
Better watch that young man, Kent. You'll be taking him back to the city wearing chaps and a sombrero.
I'm afraid so. Tumbleweed, I thought you were coming with us.
Well, I was, but I kind of fell behind in my work last night. You know, going over to watch that tribal ceremony and everything.
Oh, forget the work, Tumbleweed. Come on along.
We can't forget this work, Comanche. I'm making a bow for the youngster along with some arrows and a quiver to carry me.
Making a bow and some arrows for Jimmy? Hey, you kind of like that young friend of mine, don't you?
I sure do. Great little fella. Hey, you and Comanche, go ahead. I'll see you tonight. Here's something to remember me by. Just made it this morning.
Oh, what is it, huh? Oh, 2 bags of fudge, huh? All right, Tumbleweed, thanks.
Oh, welcome. Come on.
Come on.
Let's go, kid.
All right.
We've got a good half-hour's ride before we reach the oil field. If I'm not mistaken, there's a storm coming. Blizzard, most probably.
There is a blizzard coming, all right, but it won't get here till nightfall. You got time. So long. See ya.
Hi, Tumbleweed.
Goodbye.
How did Tumbleweed know there was a blizzard coming?
I don't know. Somehow you can tell. Well, we won't be gone more than 2 or 3 hours. We'll be back at the ranch before the snow starts to fall. You know, Kent, I can't get over what I saw last night.
You mean at the tribal ceremony?
Yes. I saw that man. That Superman swoop down out of the night. The more I think of it, the more convinced I am that Superman does really exist.
All
right, Kent. Deny it if you want to. But I tell you, I saw this Superman with my own eyes.
No, never mind that, Comanche. The thing that interests me is this. Last night, just before you say Superman swooped down out of the night, I heard a coyote howl. The other day, just before that avalanche started, we heard a coyote howl. Something mysterious about that coyote.
I had a talk with my father, Chief Running Fox, last night.
Yes?
He advised me to put the ranch and the oil fields up for sale.
Oh, why?
He says that coyote will haunt me and my friends until I get rid of the ranch.
Are you going to follow his advice?
I don't know, Kent.
Well, Comanche, I believe there's a simple, down-to-earth explanation for the howling of that coyote just before something happened. Given a little time, we'll probably find out what it is.
While Clark Kent and Comanche Joe ride toward the oil fields, Jimmy Olsen, accompanied by Dusty, Rawson's henchman, rides on toward the fatal danger Rawson has planned for him. We know, though Jimmy does not, that when spurs are applied to the horse known as Gentle Lamb, the animal becomes a hysterical killer. Listen.
Gee, Dusty, this sure is some country. I've never seen such wonderful scenery in my life.
Yeah, sure is beautiful.
Riding through these mountains is like, well, I don't know what it's like. Sure is different. Where are we going, Dusty?
Well, Jimmy, I thought we'd head over toward Comanche Reservation. I thought maybe you'd like to pay a visit to your new brothers. You're a member of the Comanche tribe now, you know.
Gee, yeah. Can't really believe that myself. Think of me, Jimmy Olsen, being a member of a real tribe of Indians like the Comanches. And being called Laughing Squirrel and everything. Boy, that's really something, ain't it?
It certainly is. Hey, pat that horse here and keep up with mine. What's the matter with him?
Well, they call him Gentle Lamb. He's just as slow, too.
What you need for that horse is a pair of spurs.
Yeah, guess I'd put some life into him. Well, no sense wishing for him when you can't have them.
Well, you can have them, all right. Got a pair right here. Just got them from the blacksmith this morning. They're being repaired and forgot to take them out of my pocket. Here you are. You can borrow them.
Oh, gee, Dusty. Thanks a lot.
Wait a minute now. You don't have to dismount. I'll fit them to you while you're on the horse.
Oh, thanks, Dusty. Hey, Dusty, it's starting to snow. Maybe we ought to be starting back to the ranch, huh?
Ah.
Oh, Tumbleweed says these blizzards and snowstorms out here can be pretty dangerous. People get lost in the snow sometimes and they freeze to death.
Now, don't you worry about getting lost in those snowstorms. I know the trail like the back of my hand. There you are. Ah, them spurs fit you like they was made for you. Maybe now you'll be able to get some speed out of that there nag.
Gee, yeah, maybe I will.
I dig them spurs into Gentle Lamb's flanks, Sonny, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, here goes. Hey, what's happening?
Hold on, kid, if you can.
Hold on. He's going to throw me. Dusty, the horse is falling, and I'm falling with him. Dusty, I'm under him. He's kicking. Help me, Dusty, help. Oh, my head. Oh.
Well, that's that. Wait. Someone shot that horse with an arrow. An Indian, probably. An Indian done it.
It wasn't no Indian, Dusty.
Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed Joe.
I'll settle with you later, Dusty. I put an arrow through that horse's heart just in time. Oh, Jimmy, you need first aid. You need in a hurry. Horse kicked you in the head. Bad concussion, probably. Hey, Dusty, give me a hand getting this kid back to the ranch house. Hey, ridden on. Skedaddle. May he burn in the bottommost pit. But I'll get Jimmy back myself. I'll get him to a doctor in time if it's the last thing I do.
This is getting worse, Tumbleweed. I don't think the doctor will be able to get through.
He's got to get through. Kid'll die if he don't. You get word to Comanche Joe and Clark Kent?
Yeah, Boley rolled out the oil fields about an hour and a half ago.
Kent and Comanche must be on their way back by now. Why doesn't that doctor get here? What's he taking all this time about?
The blizzard is terrible, Tumbleweed. No human can get through in a night like this. God, listen to that wind out there.
I'll get it. Hello. Yeah? Listen, Doc, you just got to get here. There's a kid here been kicked in the head by a horse. How do I know how bad it is? All I know is the kid's unconscious. He's been that way for over an hour. Well, that's bad, huh? You can't get through. Okay. If you can't get through to me, I'll get through to you. Never mind how. Goodbye. Put blankets around that kid. Jerry, saddle lightning.
You really ain't thinking of taking your favorite horse out in that blizzard, Tumbleweed. He'll never come back alive.
If anything can get through this blizzard, that horse will. Saddle lightning, like I tell you.
Tumbleweed, use your head. The doctor's 20 miles from here over the mountains. There's a blizzard raging, man. The worst I ever seen in a year. You'll never get through. You and the kid and the horse will freeze to death out in the mountains.
Can't let that kid die. Get those blankets around him and hurry up. Pronto, you hear me?
All right. But you're a crazy hombre, Tumbleweed. Nobody, not Superman himself, can get through this blizzard.
I can try. Any way you look at it, the kid died. Well, I'll take a chance on getting him through the mountain to the doctor.
Yeah, the kid's ready, too. All wrapped up in blankets. But I tell you, you'll never make it.
Maybe not, but I can try. Open that door, Jerry. I'm on my way. I'll have a little laughing squirrel here or die in a tent.
A job that needs Superman. Jimmy's friend, Tumbleweed Jones, faces 20 miles of dangerous mountain trails blocked by snow and blizzard. Will he reach the doctor in time to save Jimmy? Will he reach the doctor at all? Be sure to hear the next thrilling episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky! Look, it's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. As you remember, Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen, are now visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, a wealthy Indian who owns many oil fields in the far west. Kent is to collect material for a story on the strange howling of a mysterious coyote, whose cry, according to Comanche Indian legend, warns of impending danger. Unknown to anyone but his henchmen, Rawson the ranch foreman is behind the strange howling of the coyote in order to induce Comanche Joe to sell his ranch and oil fields at a loss. In our last episode, we heard how Rawson almost brought about the death of Jimmy Olsen. And according to plan, Jimmy was thrown from a horse and seriously hurt, though his life was saved for the moment by his friend Tumbleweed Jones. Our last episode ended, but wait, listen.
The doctor's 20 miles from here over the mountains. There's a blizzard raging, man, the worst I've ever seen. You'll never get through. You and the kid and that horse of yours will freeze to death out there on the mountains.
Jerry, if the doc can't come here, we'll go to him. Get those blankets around him and hurry up. Pronto, you hear me?
All right, but you're a local hombre, Tumbleweed. Nobody, not even that there Superman fella himself, could get through this blizzard.
I can try. Any way you look at it, the kid died. Well, I'll take a chance on getting him through the mountains to the doctor.
Lightning's all settled, Tumbleweed. Yeah, the kid's ready, too, all wrapped up in blankets. Tumbleweed, listen to reason. You'll never make it.
Maybe not, but I can try. Open that door, Jerry. I'm on my way. I'll save the little laughing squirrel here or die in this.
Sure, loco, Tumbleweed. But good luck to you. Well, there they go. Lord help.
Open up in there.
Come in. Hello, Mr. Kent.
Oh, Jerry. Oh, say, I hope you got a good roaring fire going. It's taken Comanche and me over an hour and a half to get in from the oil fields.
I've never seen such a blizzard, Jerry. It's a real howler. Certain suicide to be out in a night like this.
Yeah, sure is.
What is it, Jerry? What's wrong?
Comanche, Mr. Kent.
Jerry, where's Jimmy Olsen? What's happened?
Oh, just tighten your saddle, Mr. Kent, and take it easy. Ain't gonna do no good getting excited now.
What are you talking about, Jerry? Let's have it straight.
Well, the kid, Jimmy, he's been hurt bad. Some dang fool put him up on gentle lamb while the kid was wearing spurs.
What?
Dusty it was.
Dusty. Why, sure, Jimmy went for a ride with Dusty when Kent and I left for the oil field this afternoon.
What's this about spurs and that horse?
Oh, Kent, to use spurs on that horse is like putting your head in the mouth of a raging lion. What happened, Jerry?
Well, the kid was thrown and trampled on.
What?
The horse would have killed him if Tumbleweed Jones hadn't put up an arrow through the critter's heart.
Oh, where is Jimmy? Have you sent for a doctor?
Doctor would never get through on a night like this, Mr. Kent.
I know, but something must be done to...
Something's being done. Tumbleweed Jones left here with a kid about an hour ago.
He left here with... Jerry, let me get this straight. You don't mean Tumbleweed is going to try and get through those mountains tonight?
That's exactly what I do mean, Comanche.
Why, that's suicide. He'll never make it. They'll lose the trail and freeze to death out there.
That's what I try to tell him, Comanche.
Comanche, we've got to do something. Can we put a call through the doctor? I've got to know if they've arrived or not.
If they get through, it'll take him at least another hour or more.
Oh, the kid may not last that long. Not if that concussion is bad. Kent, where are you going?
Well, I've simply got to do something. I can't just stand here waiting. I'm going up to my room and get these wet clothes off. That'll give me something to do for a while.
Jerry, this is terrible. Terrible. There isn't a chance in the world of them getting through.
I know that, Comanche. But I just couldn't say it in front of Mr. Kent.
Maybe there is something we can do. Jerry, I'll be back as soon as I can.
Where are you bound for?
The Comanche Reservation. I want to have a talk with my father, Chief Running Fox. He may be able to help. I don't know. See you later.
I hope my excuse about wanting to change my clothes sounded reasonable to Comanche and Jerry. Jerry didn't fool me. There isn't a chance of Jimmy and Tumbleweed getting through this blizzard alive. Something's got to be done.
And it looks like a job for Superman. I'll leave through the window. Blizzard's getting worse. There's no time to lose. Up, and away!
Tumbleweed.
Don't talk, youngster. You get too much of this cold air, it'll freeze your lungs. It's all right, Lightning. It's all right, fella.
How far we come?
Don't know for certain. About halfway, I'd reckon.
I'm worried, Tumbleweed.
Oh, will you shut up talking? You got to conserve your strength.
Pain. Terrible pains in my head.
Yeah, I know. Whoop. Up, Lightning. Up you come.
He stumbled, Tumbleweed. On his knees in the snow.
Yeah. Bogged down in his drift. Come on, Lightning. Come on, fella. Now he's up. I don't know how much longer he's going to keep going.
The blizzard's getting worse, Tumbleweed. Do you think we'll make it?
We gotta make it, son. We gotta make it. If Lightning here can hold out.
Lightning. Good old Lightning. You shouldn't have done it, Tumbleweed.
Will you shut up and conserve your strength? I jingle, youngster, if you don't have... Whoa, up, Lightning, whoa.
Stumbled again.
Yeah. Come on, fella. Come on. Get up here now, get up. Come on now, fella, come on. Now, this is Tumbleweed talking to you. You just got to pull yourself out of that snowdrift.
Can't do it, Tumbleweed. It's exhausted. The way we are.
We'll have to get off and try to help him up. I'll take it easy. I'll set you down for a minute. Now, you just lay here now, Jim, while I try to get Lightning up on his feet.
Okay.
Right. Lightning, old man. Come on now. That drift ain't so deep. Can't get up. Come on, partner. I'll see if you can. Come on, Lightning. You've got to get up. You hear me, boy? You've got to. Yeah. I guess you can. I guess you just ain't got the strength.
Tumbleweed.
Be with you in a minute, son. Lightning, I can't leave you here to freeze to death. And I gotta go on without you. So, partner, I guess you'll understand why I'm doing this. Yes, sir, Lightning. That's right. Just turn your head. So long, partner.
Tumbleweed, what was that? I heard a shot, Tumbleweed.
It's all right, son. It's all right. You and me gotta go on without Lightning.
Without Tumbleweed? You...
Well, I had to do it. He'd have froze to death. Now, no more talking. I gotta carry you, and we got a long way to go. Yeah, Jimmy, we got a long way to go.
If I could only find them. The snow covers everything. Not a trace of them anywhere. I've got to find them, and I've got to find them soon. Now, the temperature must be close to zero or below it. And this icy wind is enough to... Wait. There's something down there. A black shape lying in the snow. I'll go down. Down! Tumbleweed's horse, Lightning. He's been shot. Tumbleweed must have done that to keep him from suffering. His body is stiff and frigid. Lying here for some time. I must go on. Up, and away!
Kid. Jimmy. Kid. You hear me? Kid, you mustn't go to sleep. You hear?
Very warm.
Oh, it ain't warm. You just think it is. Wake up, you kid. Wake up.
Oh, Tumbleweed. Don't shake me like that. Every time you do, it's pain in my head.
I know it, but I can't let you go to sleep. You'll die if you do. You've got to keep awake.
Awake. Keep awake.
Jimmy, you hear me? Wake up.
Oh, please, Tumbleweed. My arm, you're hurting me.
And I tell you, you're going to keep awake even if I have... Wait, Jimmy. Look.
What?
Look. Ahead of us, something in the snow. We must be coming to a... Oh.
Tumbleweed. What is it?
It's a horse.
Horse?
It's lightning, Jimmy. We've been walking in a circle.
Lost in a raging blizzard. What will happen to Jimmy Olsen and Tumbleweed Jones? Will Superman be able to find them in time? And what will be the outcome of this adventure in the far west? Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman.
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth on the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen are now visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, a wealthy Indian. We know, though Superman does not, that Rawson, the ranch foreman, is the man responsible for many strange accidents which happened on Comanche Joe's ranch and oil fields every time the eerie howling of a mysterious coyote was heard. Rawson, planning to get rid of young Jimmy Olsen, seriously injured the boy. Despite a raging blizzard, Tumbleweed, Jimmy's friend, tried to get him to a doctor 20 miles away across the mountains. Superman, in the meantime, is frantically searching for them. But as our last episode ended, fate dealt Jimmy and Tumbleweed a terrible blow. Listen.
What do you mean we've been walking in a circle? Tumbleweed?
Jim, lad, we got to face it. That form laying in the snow there, Lightning, my horse.
Lightning? But you had to shoot Lightning about an hour ago. Ever since then, you've been carrying me through the snow. On our way to the doctor's.
I thought we was on our way to the doctor's, but I must have lost the trail. Now, don't you see, kid? We've come right back to where we started from. We've been walking in a circle for over an hour.
Then we're finished, Tumbleweed. We'll never make it now.
No, Jimmy. We've got to make it. We've got to. You got a bad injury to your head. I just got to get you to that doctor.
You'll never do it, Tumbleweed. You'd have to be Superman himself to get through this blizzard alive. You'd have to be Superman.
Jimmy, you're falling asleep. Can't do that, kid. You can't go to sleep. You never wake up again. You freeze to death.
No.
Wake up there. Wake up. Oh, wake up, Jim. You hear me?
Oh, don't. Please don't slap me like that. It makes my head pain worse than ever. Oh, my head.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. Honest I am, boy. But you've got to keep awake. You'll die if you go to sleep.
I don't care.
Well, I do. Jim, son. I know what you're going through. But we ain't giving up. No, sir. We ain't giving up. Jim, wake up here. Kid, please don't go to sleep. Please, I can't go alone. You gotta fight with me. I gotta know you're with me all the way. Jim, will you please wake up?
No use.
No. Guess you're right. It's getting too cold. Can't see. Blinded by the snow. Yeah, kid, you're right. No sense going on. Might as well go sleep. Yeah. Sleep.
Tumbleweed and Jimmy seem to be going in a circle. Those must be their tracks I'm following. Couldn't belong to anyone else. Tumbleweed must have lost the trail. Oh, why can't I catch up with them? How far ahead of me can they be? This blizzard is getting worse. Cold's increasing. If I don't find them soon, I might just as well not find them at all. I simply got... There below me. Huddled together in the snow. It must be... Yes, it is. Jimmy and Tumbleweed. Down! Great heavens. They're completely covered with snow. Must have been lying here for some time. I hope I haven't come too late. Let me see. Jimmy's still alive. Can barely make out his heartbeat. Tumbleweed, too. But there isn't much time. I've got to get them both to that doctor as quickly as possible. Here, I'll take one of them under each arm. There we are. Now up, and away! Now, there's the town below me. That must be the main street. Got to find out where that doctor lives. Down! You there.
Eh? Well, let's take in heaven.
Where will I find Dr. Parker?
It's a dream I'm having. Tis me imagination playing tricks on
Will
me.
you answer my question? Dr. Parker, where will I find him?
Why, his office is just 3 blocks down. You can't miss it.
3 blocks?
It's located in a new modern building and...
Yes, this is the place, all right. Doctor's office is right here on the ground floor. I'd better remain as Superman and not resume my disguise of Clark Kent. Too much explaining to do later. Dr. Parker. Hello in there, Dr. Parker.
Yes, but it's... Great
Now,
heavens.
don't be afraid. I mean you no harm. Dr. Parker, is he in?
Well, yes, but who are you and
There's
what...
no time for questions. Call the doctor immediately.
Look, what is it?
Doctor, this strange-looking man carrying that boy under one arm and then that man under another.
Well, I'll be... Why, this must be the lad they called me about from Comanche Joe's ranch.
Yes, and this is Tumbleweed Jones. They're both in a pretty bad way, Doctor. Whatever you do, you'll have to work fast.
Yes, I can see that. Bring them into my operating room at once. The boy, I understand, has a possible fracture of the skull.
That's right.
Complicated by hours of exposure. Bad, very bad. I'd better take x-rays of his head at once.
You have all that equipment here?
Oh, yes. We opened this office not long ago. It's completely modern and equipped with every sort of medical apparatus.
See.
Yes, we must take those x-rays. From the looks of that boy, the quicker we do it, the better.
Well, Mr. Jones, how are you
Nurse,
now?
listen. You got to let me see the boy. I got to be near him. I got to.
Mr. Jones, please. You've got to save what little strength you've got left. You must lie quietly. You're in a state of dangerous exhaustion.
I ain't exhausted. And stop calling me Mr. Jones. My name's Tumbleweed. Now, by jingo, you let me go to that boy. Oh.
Now, you see, the minute you try to get up, you realize how ill you are. There's nothing you can do for the boy. The doctor's taking x-rays right now, and as soon as we know how badly the boy is hurt, we'll...
May I come in?
Oh, the jumping coyotes, I am sick. I'm beginning to see things. What's that?
You don't know me, Tumbleweed. But I'm indebted to you for trying to save the life of Jimmy Olsen. I just wanted to thank you.
Who are you? Why that fancy get-up?
No point in answering those questions, Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed, this is the person who brought you and the boy here. He found you in the snow out on the mountain.
Oh, he did? Well, then, sir, I allow as how I kind of owe you something.
Oh, Doctor, what did the x-ray show?
Well, that boy's in a bad way. Skull is fractured all right, and there's a pressure on the brain which must be removed at once. I've got to operate, and yet I don't know that I dare.
Why not?
What do you mean you can't operate?
Please, Mr. Tumbleweed.
You save that boy's life. You'll answer to me. You hear me talking? You do something pronto.
Now, you will find me in the room. Quiet. You don't lie here quietly and stop getting excited. You won't leave yourself.
Oh, I don't care about me. It's the kid.
Why can't you operate, Doctor?
The boy's condition is very serious. He's very weak. I'm afraid he'd never survive the operation. I can't take the chance.
It's his only chance, and you've got to take it.
I don't
You've
know.
got to do what you can, Doctor. You've got to operate. I insist that you take that chance. I insist, Doctor.
Please, Doc. Please.
Nurse,
Yes, Doctor.
prepare the boy. We'll operate at once.
Am I doing all right, Doctor?
Yes. Administer the anesthetic no faster than you're doing now. You're ready to obey any order I give you the moment it's given.
Yes.
Now then, the scalpel, nurse.
Here, Doctor.
Sponge,
Here, Doctor.
gently with that retractor. Gently.
Yes, Doctor. Yes.
Sponge. Another. Hemostat, please. Now, a little more of the anesthetic.
Yes, Doctor. Yes.
Sponge.
Here, Doctor.
Now then. Scalpel, quick.
Here, Doctor.
Sponge. Another sponge.
Yes, Doctor. Yes.
No. Ligatures, please. Quickly.
Here, Doctor.
I must make these sutures before there's any
Doctor.
possibility of infection.
Doctor.
Yes?
The boy's pulse and respiration. They're dropping.
Working as quickly as I can, sir. Stop the anesthetic. Yes, Doctor.
Pulse 32, Doctor.
Prepare a hypo with adrenaline, quick.
It's all ready, Doctor. Here.
Good. Now, here in the forearm.
Respiration is dropping, Doctor.
Doctor, isn't there anything you can do? Can't you?
What the devil?
Mr. Tumbleweed, you shouldn't have gotten up. You must be quiet.
Kill yourself, man, if you don't
How
mean
is
anything.
he? What's your all staring at me? Oh, I see.
We've got him sooner. We weren't so weakened by exposure.
Doctor, you can't just let him die.
He ain't gonna die. He ain't gonna, you hear me? Jim, little fella, listen to me. You gotta live, Jim. Why, if you go out, old Tumbleweed won't have nothing. Not knowing. Lightning's gone, Jim, and you go out too. Why, shucks, I was gonna learn you how to ride and rope. I was gonna show you how to shoot the bow and arrow, just like the Indians do. You and me was getting to be real pals, and now he can't die. You in that there fancy costume, you saved us two from freezing to death out there in the mountains. You brung us here to the doctor, didn't you? Well then, do something. Do something to save that boy, do you hear? Do something. Do something, please.
This is one time when even I can do nothing.
Well, it looks as if Jimmy's in a pretty bad way. Even Superman's physical powers seem useless in this emergency. Be sure to hear the next episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look! It's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Look, it's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen, are now in the midst of an adventure in the far west. Kent and Jimmy are visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, a wealthy Indian oil man, so that Kent may collect material for a newspaper story on the strange howling of a mysterious coyote, whose cry warns of impending doom. We know, though Superman does not, that Comanche Joe's ranch foreman, Rawson, is behind the mysterious accidents which have been happening on the ranch each time the howl of the coyote was heard. Rawson also is responsible for the severe injury to Jimmy Olsen, who was thrown from a horse and badly hurt. Tumbleweed Jones, Jimmy's friend, tried to get Jimmy to a doctor by traveling 20 miles through a blinding snowstorm. The tumbleweed failed, and it was Superman who brought both his friends to the doctor's office in town. As our last episode ended, Jimmy had just undergone an operation. He was sinking rapidly.
Listen, can't die. You've got to live. You hear me? You've got to. Can't somebody do something for him? Something?
This is one time, Tumbleweed, when even I can do nothing. Or is it?
What was that?
You mean there is something you can do?
I'm not sure, but wouldn't a blood transfusion help?
It's too much of a chance.
He's dying because he's losing strength, isn't he? Well, I can give him that strength. I can give him the power to become strong again. I can give him life.
Don't you see? The blood must match. The blood types must be the same. We'll have to test it.
There's no time for that. The boy is dying, sinking fast. You've got to do a transfusion, Doctor. You've got to.
Very well. Nurse, prepare for a transfusion. No, wait. I'll do it myself. We'd better take our cowboy friend here, Tumbleweed, back to his room. Make him lie down and remain quiet. Now, go ahead, Tumbleweed. There's nothing you can do here.
You let me know the minute anything happens, will you?
We'll let you know, Tumbleweed.
All right. Bring that operating table over here and place it next to the one the boy is lying on. And hurry, we've got to work fast.
Yes.
There we are. You'll have to strip to the waist.
Won't take me a minute.
I'll prepare the transfusion apparatus.
There.
All right. Now then, I'll thrust this needle into your arm and... What? I can't penetrate your skin. I don't understand.
No, of course you don't. But it's all right, Doctor. Here. I'll do it for you.
What?
There. I'm ready for the transfusion.
Yes. Let us hope and pray that your blood matches the boy's. Now then, I'll start the pump and then we'll see. That's it. Just lie there quietly.
Is there any change?
Not yet, no. There's only one chance in 3 that your blood matches. Let's hope we're lucky. If it doesn't, we...
What is it?
Pulse. Becoming stronger. By George, I believe...
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, wait, we must be sure. Yes, it's getting much stronger. It's gaining strength rapidly. Here, I can remove this from you now. By George, this is miraculous. Why, I've never seen anyone gain strength this quickly. It's you, sir. You who have done it. Who are you? What is this superhuman strength you have?
Is the boy all right now? Will he live?
Oh, he'll live all right. There's no doubt of that now. But you, sir...
Listen to me, Doctor. There's something you must do for me.
Anything you like after what you've done here tonight.
All I ask is this. Forget you ever saw me. What you've seen here tonight must never be mentioned to another soul. Will you do that?
Certainly. I doubt if anyone would believe me anyway. But what about my nurse and Tumbleweed Jones?
You must swear your nurse to secrecy. As for Tumbleweed, you can tell him he was delirious. I've got to go now.
Now, that's my phone. I have to pick it up in here. Wait, I want to talk to you.
I can't. Sorry, I've got to leave. I'll leave through the window while you're answering the phone. Bye.
Goodbye. Hello? Who? Comanche Joe? Oh, yes. Yes, they got through all right. As a matter of fact, I just completed an operation on the boy.
And, Doctor, you're sure the boy is going to be all right? I see. Well, I don't understand how Tumbleweed ever got through those mountains and is blizzard. But I'm relieved to hear it's all right. The boy's friend, Clark Kent, will be relieved, too. All right, Doctor. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, Comanche.
Oh, Kent. Finally decided to come out of your room, did you? Why did you lock yourself in like that?
Well, I wanted to be by myself, Comanche. Shock of hearing Jimmy had been badly hurt, and all the rest of it. Well, I think you understand.
Yes, of course. There are times when everyone must be alone. That's why we didn't bother you when we found your door locked. Kent, I have great news for you. Jimmy's going to be all right. I was just talking to the doctor.
What? You mean Tumbleweed got through after all?
So it seems. Everything is going to be all right, Kent. So you can stop worrying.
Oh, thank heaven. Oh, what a relief.
Yes, everything is cleared up now. Except one thing.
And what's that?
Our friend... Wait. Listen.
Sounds like tom-toms and Indians yelling.
It is. It would appear my brothers of the Comanche tribe have followed my orders very capably.
Your orders?
After the accident to Jimmy, I knew Dusty would try to escape. I notified my father of this, and many warriors of the tribe set out to track him down. It appears that they succeeded. Come, we'll soon know. They're now right outside. You have brought him, my brothers. You have done good work. Leave him with me.
Looks as if they'd rather not.
They know what he did to Jimmy, and they want to avenge the little laughing squirrel. Lothar, you leave him with me. I will deal justice to him. Get into the house, Dusty. My brothers, you will return to the reservation.
I thought they was going to kill me.
They will when I give the order.
What you talking about, Comanche?
Dusty, late this afternoon you took young Jimmy Olsen for a ride on a horse called Gentle Lamb.
Sure, that's right.
Everyone on this ranch, including yourself, knew that horse was a killer the minute somebody touched him with spurs. Young Jimmy wasn't wearing spurs when he left here. I was careful to see to that. But he was wearing spurs when the horse almost killed him. Where did he get those furs, Dusty?
I don't know. You don't think I gave them to him, do you?
I know you did.
There wouldn't seem to be any doubt about it. He couldn't have got them from anyone else.
That's right. Now, Dusty, your life depends on how you talk in the next few minutes. I'm going to ask questions, and I want the right answers.
I don't know nothing, Comanche. I swear I'm innocent.
Who put you up to trying to kill Jimmy Olsen?
Comanche, you got it all wrong.
I'm going to get it right. Answer my question, Dusty. Answer me, blast you die here now.
Let me go. Take that knife off my door.
Talk then.
I was put up to it. I was forced to do it. I like to leave you. Well, all right. I hated to do it, but if I had...
Never mind all that. Who put you up to it? Who ordered you to kill Jimmy Olsen?
He's a guy both of you think is okay. You never suspected of trying to get Comanche Joe here to...
The coyote. Kent, you hear it?
Yes, I heard it. He's almost right outside the front door.
Hand me that rifle. If it's that close, I may be able to get a shot.
Fainted. Here, I
Now, come on.
There it is. Running off into the night. Did you get him?
No. It'd be out if I had. And yet, Kent, I'm a dead shot. You don't think that Comanche legend that...
But it's true? That coyote is a phantom?
Yes.
Of course not. There's a blinding snowstorm going on out here. Coyote was practically out of sight when you fired. You missed him. That's all there is to it.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Well, let's bring our friend Dusty back to his senses and find out what he was going to tell us before that coyote started yapping.
Still out cold. Dusty? All right, come on. Now snap out of it. Come on now, Dusty.
Kent.
He hasn't fainted, Comanche. He's dead.
Dead?
Yeah. What we thought was a fainting spell was actually... I can't understand this. That coyote yapping and his dying at almost the exact second. That was no coincidence.
You think he was murdered?
I don't think there's any doubt of it. But how? What could have killed him? There seemed to be no wounds. None that I can see.
Oh, Kent, I don't like this. You say there's no truth to that Indian legend about the Howling Coyote. I tell you there is. I'm convinced of it now. That coyote howling was a warning of Dusty's death. There's something about all this that isn't human.
Now, Comanche.
It's bad medicine, Kent. Bad medicine.
Comanche, you mustn't let this thing get you down. Whoever is behind the howling of that coyote and all these strange accidents is playing on your nerves, on your natural superstitious nature.
Yeah.
What his reason may be, I certainly don't know.
Comanche! What is it?
Thought I'd never get here. Been pulling leather all the way to wells, Comanche, the oil wells.
Well, what about them?
Number 1 and 2, they're going up in flames.
What?
The dead furnace fire you ever did see.
Oh, well.
It's spreading fast. If we don't do something and do it pronto, it's going to be just too bad for every oil well you got in your land. Jerry, what you standing there for? What you staring at nothing for?
Comanche.
So the howl of the coyote means nothing. Kent, I wonder.
Well, things are certainly happening thick and fast. What is the mystery of the Howling Coyote? We know that the man named Rawson is plotting against our friends, but how does Rawson make the animal howl at just the right moment? And how was Dusty killed? What can Superman do to help his friend Comanche Joe? Be sure to hear the next thrilling episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky. Look! It's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman. Look, it's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth on the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen, are now visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, wealthy Indian oilman. Unknown to our friends, Rawson, the ranch foreman, has engineered many strange accidents on the ranch. Each accident is preceded by the mysterious howling of a coyote, in order to convince Comanche Joe that an Indian legend concerning the coyote is true, and thus induce the Indian to sell his land and oil fields at a ridiculously low figure. One of Rawson's evil schemes resulted in serious injury to Jimmy, As our last episode ended, Kent and Comanche Joe were about to make Dusty, Rawson's henchman, confess when the eerie howl of the coyote was heard, and Dusty dropped dead at their feet. Hardly had this happened when the door of the ranch house burst open and... But wait. Listen.
Comanche! Comanche!
What is it?
Thought I'd never get here. Been pulling leather all the way. The wells, Comanche, the oil wells.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Number 1 and 2, they're going up in flames. The dad burnedest fire you ever did see.
The oil well.
It's spreading fast. If we don't do something and do it pronto, it's going to be just too bad for every oil well you got in your land. Well, what you standing there for? What you staring at nothing for?
Comanche.
So, the howl of the coyote means nothing, eh? I wonder.
Well, this is no time for wondering, Comanche. We've got to act and act fast.
No, Kent. This is not the time for action.
What?
How long do you think we can go on this way? Time after time, the coyote howls. Time after time, something terrible happens. Many of my men on the ranch have been badly hurt. And each time the coyote has howled.
Listen, Comanche, the wells.
Kent, the coyote howled a few hours ago, and your young friend Jimmy Olsen was thrown from a horse and almost killed. Again, the coyote has howled, and 2 of my oil wells are going up in flames. The fire will spread to the others.
But we can stop them, Comanche, if we act in time, if we act now.
No, Kent. It is no use. We're fighting something that is beyond us. Something not human, something supernatural.
Oh, you're letting your superstition get the better of you.
He's right, Comanche. Come on, we got to stop the fire.
Quiet, Pat. Kent, you are a white man. What a white man does not understand, he refuses to believe. But I am an Indian, with an Indian's understanding of these things. There is no use fighting that which is not human. And I tell you, Kent, that coyote is not human.
Now, this all makes mighty highfalutin talking, Comanche, but them there oil wells is still conflagrating. What are you going to do about it?
Let them burn. The coyote has howled. There's nothing we can do.
That's where you're wrong, Comanche. Pat, round up the men. Have you some sort of a fire alarm?
Never saw an oil field without one, Mr. Kent.
Well, then turn it on. Get the men started for those burning oil wells.
I'm on my way.
Wait a minute, Kent. You've no right to give orders around here.
I'm your friend, Comanche, and I'm not going to stand by while someone makes a fool of you.
What do you mean, someone?
There's someone. There must be someone who's plotting against you.
No, Kent. The old Comanche legend come true. When the coyote howls, then will trouble come.
No, don't you see that whoever is behind all these accidents is making use of that legend? Don't you understand that he's trying to work on your naturally superstitious nature? Now, so far, Comanche, you've beaten him at every turn, and you've got to go on beating him.
You really think it's all just a trick?
I'm sure of it. Now, listen, there goes the alarm. The men will be heading for the oil fields, and you've got to be with them. Come on.
All right, Kent. Let's go. All right, you men.
We've been waiting for you two. Got your horses all saddled and ready.
All right, Pat. Oh, girl. Oh. All set, Kent?
All set.
That's what we're waiting for. Let's go.
Take it easy. Ride along with me here behind the others. I want to talk to you.
All right. Oh, boy. Oh. Now, what's on your mind, Rawson?
Tex, how would you like to make some money? A lot of money.
It depends, Rawson. You know my record. I've been sent up the river twice by the Rangers, and I ain't taking chances. Howsomever, if what you got in mind ain't too risky.
Well, all you got to do, Tex, is obey orders and keep your mouth shut. Don't keep your mouth shut, and the same thing will happen to you what happened to Dusty.
Dust? Say, that's right. I ain't seen him around. What's happened to him?
He was working for me, Tex. He didn't follow orders, and he didn't keep his mouth shut. He's dead, Tex. Dead.
Oh, I see. What's this job pay, Ross?
If Comanche Joe's ranch and oil wells were sold in the open market, what do you think they'd bring?
Wouldn't know.
They'd bring anywhere from $2 to $5 million. Now, do like I tell you, Tex. Obey my orders and keep your mouth shut, and you get a quarter of that.
A quarter of $5 million?
Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. What do you say?
I say, lead me to it.
It may be risky, Tex. And you said you didn't want to run no more risk account of your record.
Yeah, but I didn't know there was that much Mazuma in it. I'll take a chance on anything for that kind of money.
Yeah, that's a bargain. You do like I tell you, when I tell you, and we'll get along fine. Now, come on. Let's catch up with the others. Get along. Stop.
can see the burning oil wells now.
That red glow through the blizzard, yes. Ought to be there in another 5 minutes.
Yes, Rawson. Rawson, right over this way.
What do you want, Comanche?
Rawson, from the looks of that blaze, even from this distance, sand or chemicals won't be much use. We'll have to use nitroglycerin to blow that fire out. How much nitro have we got?
Oh, about 8 cans, I'd say. Sure we'll have to use nitro?
I'm afraid so.
Well, I don't know if I can get anybody to take that stuff close into the fire. The heat alone will be terrible. You know what nitro is. Just knock it against anything will explode in your hand.
I know the danger of using nitro, but I'm afraid we'll have to do it. I'll take the nitro in myself.
Well, okay.
How do you use the nitroglycerin, Comanche?
Why, about the same way you use dynamite. I'll have to take the cans of nitro close into the fire.
Yeah?
Then wires are attached to one of the cans with a detonator back out of range. When I give the word, one of my men pushes down the handle of the detonator, setting off the nitro. The force of the explosion puts out the fire.
Must be some explosion.
You've never seen an explosion like it. Dynamite is child's play compared to it.
What was that?
Oh, sounds like another well going up. Probably number 3. We better hurry. Get up there, girl. Come on, get up there. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Comanche, this is the worst fire I ever saw. Number 3's gone up now. If we don't do something fast, the rest of them are going to go through.
The boys bringing those cans of nitro out of the shack?
They are. How about me taking that stuff close into the fire?
Thanks, Pat, but those are my wells. It's my job to save them. I'll take the nitro in myself.
You'll have to get awfully close, Comanche, and the heat from that fire is terrific. Suppose you let me try it.
No, Kent. It's my job.
Then I think you better get started, Comanche. The boys has brought up a lot of burlap. You better start wrapping yourself up in it.
Yes. Kent, help me get this burlap tied under me.
How will this burlap help you, Comanche?
Well, after I get wrapped in layers of this stuff, the boys will drench me with pails of water. I'll be so through it from head to foot.
Yeah.
That'll help me to get in close to the fire. Leave the cans of nitro and get away before the heat of the fire gets to me.
Well, you're taking an awful chance.
It's got to be done. Now, come on. Get that burlap tied onto me.
All right.
Start getting buckets of water.
Yeah, Rawson?
I got a job for you, Dick.
Yeah? What is it?
They're getting that nitro ready. Comanche Joe's going to take it in close to the fire.
Yeah?
There'll be wires running from one of those cans to a detonator. When somebody pushes down the handle of that detonator, that nitro will blow everything sky high.
Sure, I know that. But where do I come in?
You're going to be the guy who pushes down the handle of that detonator.
I see. After Comanche Joe leaves the nitro close to the fire and gets back out of range, I explode the stuff.
Yeah, you explode the nitro. But you're going to do it before Comanche Joe gets back out of range.
Before he gets back. Hey, wait a minute, Rawson. That's murder.
Well?
Oh, but I thought you wanted to get Comanche Joe to sell you his ranch cheap. How's he going to sell out to you if he's dead?
I happen to know that if Comanche dies, his father, Chief Running Fox of the Comanche tribe, becomes the owner of the ranch and the oil wells. I can handle Chief Running Fox a lot easier than Comanche Joe, so it works out fine.
Yeah. And where do I come on? Comanche Joe leaves the cans of nitro near the fire just as he starts back. Before he's 3 feet away from the cans of explosives, I set him off. Why, they'll have me up for murder.
Oh, no, they won't. You just explained you got your signals mixed, that's all. But with all the smoke and the blizzard and everything, you couldn't see Comanche. You thought he'd gotten away safe.
It's risky, Rawson. Mighty risky.
That's what you're being paid for, Dick. And plenty. Over $250,000.
All right. I'll do it.
All right, you men, come on. Keep pouring that water on me. There'll be plenty drenched before I start in toward those burning wells.
Comanche, you sure you won't let me try it?
No, Kent. I can't let you risk your life for me. The heat from those fires may knock me out before I'm able to get back.
Well, I know.
Those are my oil wells. I'll take the risk. Who's going to set off that nitro?
I am, Comanche.
All right, Jack. Be sure you don't set those cans off too soon. Better wait till I get back. Give you a signal myself.
Okay, Comanche.
Well, you're pretty well drenched, Comanche. Want any more water thrown over you?
No, I've had enough. Bring over those cans of nitro, Kent.
Okay. Here you are. Now, for heaven's sake, be careful. If you trip or knock these against anything, you'll be finished.
Don't worry about me. Jack, you all set?
I'm all set, Comanche.
Remember, don't push down the handle of that detonator till I give you the word.
Don't worry. I won't.
Pat, hand me that can of nitro. That's right. Now hand me the other one. Careful, Pat. You'll blow us out of Kingdom Come. All right. Here I go. Wish me luck, men.
Yeah, Comanche. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Wrapped in burlap, drenched to the skin, Comanche Joe carries 2 cans of highly explosive nitroglycerin into the raging inferno. We know that Tex plans to explode the nitro before Comanche Joe can get away from it. What will happen? Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a man!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! The sky!
Look, it's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen are now visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, wealthy Indian oil man. Unknown to our friends, Rawson, the ranch foreman, is the man behind many strange accidents which happen on the ranch. Each time the howling of a mysterious coyote was heard. It is Rawson's plan to convince Comanche Joe that a certain legend about the coyote is true, thus inducing the Indian to sell his ranch and oil fields at a very low figure. In our last episode, we heard the howl of the coyote, and then learned that several of Comanche's oil wells had caught on fire. The only way to put out the blaze and prevent it spreading to the other wells was for Comanche to brave the intense heat and carry in several cans of nitroglycerin. These cans were connected by wires to a detonator manned by a cowboy named Tex. Unknown to anyone, Rawson ordered Tex to explode the nitro before Comanche can get out of range of the explosion. Listen.
Yeah, the cans of nitro, Comanche. Now, for heaven's sake, be careful. If you trip or knock these cans against anything, you'll be finished.
Don't worry about me. Tex, you all set?
I'm all set, Comanche.
Remember, Tex, don't push down the handle of that detonator till I give you the word.
Don't worry. Just leave it to me.
All right, Pat. Hand me that can of nitro. That's right. Now hand me the other can. Be careful, Pat. You blow it toward the kingdom come. All right. All right, here I go.
Careful, Comanche.
Wish me luck, men.
Yeah, Comanche. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Well, there he goes, into the thick of that blaze.
Yes, Mr. Kent. You could just make him out through all that smoke and flame. Comanche's sure taking a long chance.
Hey, he looks like some sort of monster the way he's wrapped up in all that burlap.
We must have poured at least 20 buckets of water over him. That burlap's soaking wet. It's the only thing that'll protect him against the heat, so he can get in close enough to the fire for the nitro to do some good.
Pat, look.
Yes?
It's almost entirely enveloped in smoke. Do you think you'll make it?
Well, I ain't much on thinking, Mr. Kent, but I'm sure long on praying, and that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, jumping Jehoshaphat, did you see that?
Yeah, it's a long arm of flame from those burning wells seems to wrap itself around Comanche.
But he's still going on, still struggling on right into the fire. He's staggering, Kent. Oh, I hope he doesn't fall with those cans of nitro. If he does, his cousin's for him sure.
If only I could help him.
What say, Kent?
Oh, nothing. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, Kent. I guess he can't stand watching this thing. The Easterners sure are thin-skinned. There. Comanche's gotten in close enough to the fire for the nitro to do some good. Put the cans in the ground and he's starting back. Tex, you be ready to push down the handle of that detonator. Tex, what are you doing? Don't push down that handle yet.
Let me alone, Pat.
Comanche ain't gotten away from the nitro yet.
I know what I'm a-doing, Pat. Here she goes. Now.
No!
Oh, it didn't go off.
You pushed down the handle, but the nitro didn't explode. Thank heaven, there must be something wrong with those wires.
I can't understand.
Oh, well, maybe you can understand this. Oh!
What's the idea, Pat? I'm just doing my duty.
You tried to kill Comanche Joe. You pushed down that handle to explode the nitro before Comanche got out of range.
I thought he was out of range.
You thought he was out of range. If there wasn't something wrong with that detonator, you know blamed well Comanche's been blown into 1,000 bits. I'll settle you, Tex, and I'll settle with you right now. Why, what's the matter now? What happened?
Look, Comanche's been overcome. He's fallen to the ground out there.
Jumping Jehoshaphat, there's burning oil overflowing from the well, coming right toward him. We got to do something.
What can we do? No man going to that range of fire and live, and you know it. Look, Comanche's on fire.
Yes, the burlap started to burn. Comanche's surrounded by flames. He's a goner now. He's a goner now.
This is the job for Superman. Comanche's lying in the midst of that flaming oil, unconscious. I've got to save him. Unless I reach him soon, he'll be killed by the intense heat. Up! Up! Now, into the blaze. All right, Comanche. I'll have you out of this quickly. First, I must beat out the flames. This heat. Even I can feel it. But I must get Comanche to a safe spot. Up! Up! And away! There's a good spot. Down. There we are. He'll be safe here. Now, if I can only locate those cans of nitro, I may be able to save his oil wells, too. Up, and away! That was worth that. Those cans of nitro, I wonder what... there they are. At the edge of the blaze. I got them. I'll throw them right into the fire. The explosions won't hurt me. Here it goes. Now the other. There, that's done it. The force of the explosion has damped the fire. The men will be able to put the rest of it out with chemicals. Yes, here they come. I'd better get out of here before they spot me. Up, and away!
Sure was a long trek to this cabin of yours up here in the mountains, Rawson. Why couldn't we have got together back at the ranch?
I'm taking no chances, Tex. You did a good job the other night. Too bad something went wrong with that detonator.
I pushed the handle down, but nothing happened. Yeah. I've had a job explaining that. And I finally convinced the fellas that I thought Comanche Joe had gotten out of range.
Yeah, you got nothing to worry about. You got away with it all right. But since my little plan didn't work, Tex, we got to try again.
What you going to do this time, Rawson?
Yeah. Have a squint at this.
Huh? Hey, a piece of birch bark with a message burned into it.
Yeah, I figures how that'll be a lot more impressive to an Indian chief than an ordinary message on paper. Go on, read it.
Well, it says here, the chief running fox of the Comanche tribe. When the moon rises above Sugarloaf Mountain, the coyote will howl 3 times. Then will your son go to the happy hunting ground. What's it mean, Rawson?
Well, it's a message to Chief Running Fox, telling him that when the moon rises above Sugarloaf Mountain, Comanche Joe will die. You notice the message is signed the Coyote.
Yeah, I see that, but what's the idea?
When Comanche Joe dies on schedule, the old man will believe that the Coyote knows what it's talking about. Then later on, when the Coyote tells him to sell the ranch and oil fields to the first bidder, he'll do it. Needless to say, I'll be the first bidder.
You sure got it all figured out. Hey, how are you aiming to kill Comanche Joe? You've given him warning with this message. You'll be sure to protect himself.
Listen to me, Tex. Comanche Joe could surround himself with 100 Comanche braves. He can protect himself any way he wants to. But no matter what precautions he takes, I'll get him. I got a method, Tex. I killed Dusty with the method, and I can kill Comanche Joe.
Say, what is this method you got? I hear tell nobody can figure out what happened to Dusty.
You bet they can. And they won't be able to figure out how Comanche died.
I hope all this isn't getting on your nerves, Kent.
Oh, I know, Comanche. I find it interesting. Never seen anything like it before. Why all these Comanche braves are sitting around your bed beating tom-toms is beyond me.
My father has sent them to me to ward off evil spirits. The beating of the tom-toms is supposed to keep the spirits away. Let us hope it can keep the coyote away.
That message your father showed us, written on birch bark, I simply can't understand it.
It means what it says, Kent. We will soon know whether the coyote is supernatural or not.
What do you mean?
Look there, through the window of this bedroom. The edge of the moon over Sugarloaf Mountain. In a few moments, Kent, I will be dead.
Oh, nonsense, Comanche. Let me point out something else to you through that window.
What?
Those hundreds of Indian braves stationed out there.
Yes. I can see my brothers standing near the fires, waiting to protect me from any danger that may show itself. But will that danger show itself?
Oh, Comanche, you sound as though you believe that this coyote is supernatural.
Why not? A Superman saved me from the flames of those oil wells only a few days ago. If a Superman can exist, why not a supernatural coyote?
Because, well, oh, hang it, Comanche.
What is it, Crippled Wolf?
Look, moon rise over mountain. Soon coyote howl. Soon time come. We make ready. Honey! Honey!
Huh? They appear to be redoubling their efforts to ward off the evil spirit.
In a few minutes, I will be dead.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Comanche, stop talking this way. You're a man of education, a college graduate. How can you possibly believe in evil spirits and all the rest of it?
I am an Indian. Look there. The moon rises over Sugarloaf Mountain. Somehow I have a feeling my time has come.
Comanche, I tell you, you're...
Listen. There it is. That's the second time. When the coyote howls 3 times, I die.
You've got to hold on to yourself. You mustn't let this thing get the better of you.
It's no use, Kent. There's nothing we can do against this thing. This coyote that haunts me. When it howls for the... My time has come, Kent. My time has come.
Does the howl of the coyote really spell death for Comanche Joe? What is the mysterious method Rawson used to kill Dusty? And at this very moment, plans to use on Comanche Joe. Can Superman once again save his friends? Be sure to hear the next exciting episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky! Look! It's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. The transcription feature, Superman! Look, it's a plane! It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth on the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen are visiting the ranch of a wealthy Indian oil man called Comanche Joe. Many strange accidents have happened on the ranch, and each one has been preceded by the lonely cry of a coyote. As our last episode ended, Comanche Joe, convalescing from burns sustained during a fire at the oil wells, had received a message saying that when the coyote howled 3 times, he would die. We find ourselves now in Comanche's bedroom at the ranch house. His brothers of the Comanche tribe are seated in a circle on the floor, beating drums to ward off evil spirits. Outside the house, many other Indians stand guard.
Look there, Kent. The edge of the moon over Sugarloaf Mountain. Somehow I have a feeling my time has come.
Comanche, I tell you,
Listen. There it is.
Oh, doggy.
That is the second time. When the coyote howls 3 times, I die.
You've got to hold on to yourself. You mustn't let this thing get the better of you.
It's no use, Kent. There's nothing we can do against this thing. When the coyote howls... I'm going to die, Kent. I'm going to die.
Quiet. Won't do anyone any good to get excited.
How will I die? How will death come for me? And why doesn't it come? The coyote has howled 3 times. Wait. Who put out the light in here? What's happening? The window. Something has come through that window. I heard the glass break. I know there's something in this room. A scream. Right outside my window. Come, we go. Quick, Kent. Kent. Where's Kent?
Right here, Comanche.
Where have you been? Did you hear that scream?
Yes, it came from right outside your window. We'd better see what caused it.
Yeah.
There, look. Your men have gotten hold of someone. Someone lying on the ground outside your window.
It's an Indian brave. What could have happened to him? What was he doing so close to my window?
Well, we'll soon find out, I think.
Yes, bring that man forward. Who is this man?
We not know. Him not our tribe.
Let me go. Let me go, you hear?
No, he's not a member of the tribe. He's not even an Indian. Comanche, I think if you dig down beneath that war paint and that Indian costume, you'll find one of your cowboys, a man called Tex.
Tex? Why, of course. Tex, what's the meaning of this? What were you doing outside my window? Why are you dressed like an Indian?
I'll tell you anything. Anything you want to know. Just keep that thing away from me. Keep it away from me.
What are you talking about? What thing?
Whatever it was come through that window at me. I was standing out here, looking in through the window, when sudden like the lights inside went out. The next thing I knowed, this thing crashed through the window at me. It come right out of your room through the window. Its hands went around my throat. I thought my neck was busted. I never did feel anything so strong before.
Is that why you screamed?
Yeah, I thought I was a goner sure.
Something crashed through the window from my room. What could it have been?
Eagle in shape of man.
What's that?
In your room, we beat drum. We call spirit.
who saved little laughing squirrel. We call spirit of eagle in shape of man. Spirit of Superman.
Superman? Kent, do you think it might have been that?
Afraid I don't put much stock in things like that, Comanche. What I'm more interested in knowing is what Tex was doing outside your window before this thing, whatever it was, hit him.
Yes, you've got something there. All right, Tex. If you know what's good for you, you'll talk.
I'll talk, don't worry. I ain't taking no more chances, Comanche.
Yes, you what?
I was aiming to...
You were aiming to kill Comanche, is that it?
Kill him? I don't know. All I know is Rawson give me this blowgun.
Rawson? That blowgun?
Let me see that blowgun. Oh, this is how Dusty met his death.
You mean to say, Kent, that Dusty was killed with a blowgun?
Yes. Just as you might have been killed if something hadn't happened to prevent it. Here, have a look. See, there's a small dart, hardly more than a piece of thorn. No doubt coated with something deadly poison. That's why we found no wounds or other marks on Dusty's body. Rawson probably opened the window of the living room where we were standing at the time without our knowing it, and blew the small dart at Dusty, just as Tex here was going to do with you.
Why, you blasted murdering...
I didn't know it'd kill you. Rawson put me up to it. It was Rawson, I swear.
Then it looks like the first thing we've got to do is to get Rawson. You, my brothers, some of you hold this man prisoner. The rest of you come with me. Come on, Kent. We're going to get our hands on Rawson and get to the bottom of this killing business right now. Open up in there, Rawson. Open up. All right, we'll have to break the door down. Lend a hand here, Kent.
Okay, Comanche.
Come on.
He's not here. There's no one here.
So I see. I wonder if he's... Oh, the devil, he's escaped. He must have heard of Texas capture and skinned off into the hills.
But he's only got a 10 or 15-minute start, Comanche.
That's true, but we could never find him in the mountains.
Why?
He's a good woodsman. He'll be covering his tracks all the way.
Comanche become like paleface. Comanche forget what Indian know.
What are you talking about, my brother?
Us, your brothers. Us capture Rawson.
But how? Even you couldn't follow trail that Rawson's taken pains to cover up.
Maybe he's got another idea, Comanche.
Is so. Maybe it take time. 1 day, 2 days, maybe more. But we get him. We get him.
Are you sure?
You wait. You see. Adacho!
Bent on following some plan of their own for the capture of Rawson, Comanche's Indian brothers leave him. Kent and Comanche return to the ranch house, where a surprise awaits them.
Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed Jones.
Hiya, Comanche. Just arrived back here a little while ago. What's all the ruckus?
I'll tell you about it later, but how did you get back here?
Yes, and where's Jimmy Olsen?
Why, he's the reason I come on back here tonight. Doctor says he's fit enough to be moved back to the ranch house tomorrow morning. But he says we'll have to use the gas buggy. Can't have the boy traipsing around on a horse. Well, I don't know how to operate one of them gas buggy critters, so I thought I'd get Comanche here, or you, Kent, to drive over for him tomorrow.
Why didn't you telephone?
Well, I wanted to get back here so as I could finish up working on that bow and arrow set for Jim. Have it ready for him when you bring him back here tomorrow.
How about it, Kent? Will you drive over in the morning?
I'll drive over tonight if you don't mind. I'm kind of a little anxious to see Jimmy again.
I don't blame you. All right, Kent. We'll get the old buggy out and brush it off so you can drive over tonight.
Meanwhile, off in the hills, Indian tom-toms begin to beat. All through the night, the strange drumming of the tom-toms is heard. As dawn breaks over the mountains, a weary and anxious Rawson rides alone through the wilderness.
They've got me. Them Indians and their blasted drums have been circling me all night, drawing in on me closer and closer. I'm completely surrounded by a circle of Indians getting closer to me all the time. I'll never be able to get through. Well, there's only one thing to do. I'm heading for the cave. I've got a carbine and plenty of ammunition. I'll be able to hold them off for a while anyways. Maybe something will turn up. But if it don't, well, I'll get a lot of them before they get me. Get up there! Get up!
Comanche, them drums has been beating all night and all morning.
Yes, Tumbleweed. Now I know what my Indian brother meant last night when he said they'd capture Rawson in time. From the sound of those drums, they've got Rawson encircled. It won't be long before they'll have him.
And what you say we ride on up there? I want to be there when they get their hands on Rawson.
You say Rawson is in that cave?
Yes, so, Comanche. Rawson in cave. Rawson, good shot. Him kill. First man go near him.
He's got the advantage, all right. The entrance to that cave isn't very large. No chance of getting in without Rawson getting the drop on you. Well, I'll have to chance it. Rawson's a good shot, but I may be able to get him before he gets me.
I reckon as how you got that wrong, Comanche.
Now, wait a minute, Tumbleweed.
I got to settle with Rawson for what he did to little Jimmy. This is my job, Comanche.
The man who goes in there after him, Tumbleweed, probably won't come out alive.
I know that. But somebody's got to go in after him, and it's going to be me.
Now, hold on, Tumbleweed. I've been the cause of all this trouble.
We're wasting time, Comanche. We'll toss a coin. Whoever wins goes in after Rawson. That okay with you?
All right.
I'll toss the coin. I'm calling heads, Comanche. Heads it is.
Now, Tumbleweed.
Don't you worry about me none. I've been itching for this chance for a long, long time.
You better take my carbine.
Carbine? I don't have no truck with firearms. If I can't put an arrow through Rawson's heart, I don't deserve to come out alive. Rawson. Rawson, can you hear me?
I hear you all right.
I aim to give you one chance for your life. Come on out of that cave and come quiet, and you'll get a trial by law.
You want me, Tumbleweed? You'll have to come in and get me.
That's what I was hoping. Rawson, here I come.
Bow and arrow in hand, Tumbleweed Jones moves slowly, carefully toward the entrance to the cave. Rawson, carbine ready, waits to put a bullet through his heart. Can Jimmy Olsen's friend possibly emerge victorious? And what can Superman, unaware of Tumbleweed's danger, do to help? Be sure to hear the next thrilling episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman.
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. Many adventures have befallen Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen on their visit to the ranch of Comanche Joe, wealthy Indian oil man. Our last episode revealed that Rawson, Comanche Joe's ranch foreman, was responsible for the strange accidents which were always preceded by the weird howling of a coyote. While Superman, in the guise of Clark Kent, drove into town to bring Jimmy Olsen back from the doctor, the warriors of the Comanche tribe surrounded the escaping Rawson and drove him into a mountain cave. Just inside the entrance of the cave, Rawson waits, rifle in hand, resolved to sell his life dearly. Tumbleweed Jones, Jimmy's friend, prepares to go in and get him. Listen.
We've tossed a coin, Comanche, and I've won. I reckon as how it's up to me to go in and hog-tie that coyote Rawson.
Well, all right, Tumbleweed, all right. But here, you better take my rifle.
Rifle? You know I don't have no truck with firearms. I'll stick to my bow and arrow. If I can't put an arrow through Rawson's heart, I don't deserve to come out alive. Rawson! Rawson, can you hear me?
I hear you all right, Tumbleweed.
I aim to give you one chance for your life. Come on out of that cave and come quiet, and you'll get a trial by law.
You want me, Tumbleweed? You'll have to come in and get me.
That's what I was hoping. Rawson, here I come.
Tumbleweed, be careful. He's probably drawing a bead on you right now.
I ain't aiming to walk right up to that cave, right smack out in the open. I reckon that's how I can show Rawson a trick or two he never heard of before. Now, if I can just make that thing for his spot. Here goes. God, that was close. Kind of exciting.
Tumbleweed,
Yeah, Rawson.
I missed you that time, but I won't miss again. You'll have to make for that next tree, Tumbleweed, and I'll cut you down before you reach it.
He's got something there. Well, only one thing to do. I'll stick my hat on top of this arrow here and draw his fire. The minute he shoots, I'll skin for that tree. Hope I can make it before he shoots again. Now, just stick the hat out in front of the tree where Rawson can see it. Run like the dickens. Dive for that tree, Tumbleweed. Dive! Phew. What do you know? I made it. Now, I'll just fit an arrow to my bowstring and start working my way up to the cave to these bushes. Here we go now.
Yeah. This rifle's fully loaded now, so I'm ready for anything. Tumbleweed must be working his way through them bushes, but I'm danged if I can see it. Wait. There he is. Crawling along that ledge. Inching his way along toward the entrance here. Well, here's where Rawson gets you, Tumbleweed, and gets you free. Gotta take it easy now, plenty of time. Lay that sight right on his chest. Then just press the trigger slow, like this. Oh! Oh! Narrow. With my hand. Shut so quickly up. Got to pull this arrow out of my hand. Better get back into the cave where that can't happen again. Last time I'll get him surely.
Well, here's the entrance to the cave, and wait a minute. Blood. I must have got Rawson with that arrow, all right. It's pretty black inside that cave there, and it's pretty light out here. He'd be able to see me, maybe, but I won't be able to see him. Well, guess I'll have to do a little crawling. Got to hug that wall like I was a part of it. This here calls for a little refreshing. Where to put that? Here it is. Take my good. Yes, sir, best fudge ever made. There's nothing like... What? Suffering prairie dogs, that was close. Dang it. Made me swallow my fudge, too. But that shot gave me some idea where Rawson is, though. Down on your belly, Tumbleweed, and start crawling into that cave. That's progress. Oh, my shoulder. He got me.
You bet I got the Tumbleweed.
Luck, that's all it was. Just luck, Rawson.
Yeah? Well, if that bullet didn't break your shoulder, I'll be very much surprised. You can't use that bow and arrow now, Tumbleweed, so it's my turn to howl.
Blast you.
Here I come, Tumbleweed. Here I come to put a bullet through you.
You got me all right, Rawson, but you'll never get away. Comanche Joe's outside and them Indians. They'll get you sure.
I know that. It's going to give me a lot of satisfaction to take some of you with me. And you're the first, Tumbleweed. I'm throwing a bead on your heart. In another few seconds, you're a dead man. Well, ain't you gonna beg me to let you go? Ain't you gonna plead with me to spare your life?
I ain't begging, Rawson.
No, Tumbleweed? Well, then, I'm shooting.
No, I'm sorry, Doctor. Jimmy and I would like to spend more time with you here in town, but we really must be getting back to Comanche Joe's ranch.
Yes, Doc. We just gotta go. I'm kind of anxious to get back because Tumbleweed Jones said he was going to have a surprise for me.
Yes,
And besides, Doctor, I'm anxious to find out whether or not they've captured Rawson.
Well, you can telephone the ranch house, can't you?
Why do that, Doctor, when it won't take more than a few hours to drive back over the mountains to Comanche's ranch?
Because I want you to remain here as my guest for a while.
I know, but...
Great heavens, Mr. Kent. Look, you arrived here last night to take Jimmy back with you. Well, I spent the most interesting evening I've had in many a year, talking with someone who knows what's going on in the world. Now you want to leave.
Oh, but we've got to, Doctor. Gosh, I'm just dying to find out what kind of a surprise Tumbleweed Jones has for me.
Now, look here. It's late in the afternoon. It'll be dark before you reach Comanche Joe's ranch. Besides, Kent, Jimmy here ought to have another good night's rest before taking that trip. Especially in that dilapidated old junk heap you call an automobile.
Well, Comanche Joe doesn't have much use for modern inventions. Doctor, I'm sorry. I'd really like to spend another night here with you. I've enjoyed our long talks together as much as you, but... Well, I feel I really ought to get back to the ranch this afternoon.
Well, I suppose there's nothing I can say or do that'll change your mind, Mr. Kent.
I'm afraid not, Doctor.
And there's another reason I want to get back, Doctor.
Yes, Jimmy?
You see, sir, I'm now a member of the Comanche tribe.
Oh.
Chief Running Fox was teaching me how the Indians send messages by beating on drums.
Oh, yes, very interesting. You know, Kent, on a quiet night sometimes you can hear the Comanche drums far off in the hills, sending messages from one tribe to another.
That's all.
So you're learning the language of the drums, are you, Jimmy?
Yes, sir. So you see, we've simply got to go.
Well, I see. Much as I hate to see you go, I won't detain you. I'll see you to that monstrosity you call a car.
Will Jimmy be all right, Doctor? I mean, anything we should do?
Oh, I don't think so, Mr. Kent. Just be sure to keep clean bandages on his head, and Jimmy, you take it easy. No excitement of any kind for a while.
Okay, Doc. Hey,
Huh?
look at the car.
What?
Oh, a flat tire.
Not one flat tire, Kent, but two of them. Look there.
Yeah, you're right. That car hadn't been used in so long a time, I guess the rubber on those tires was pretty far gone.
To say nothing of those mountain roads.
Well, we have to get these fixed. We haven't got a spare. We'd need two anyway.
Now, look, there's a gas station at the other end of town, and I can call up and have someone come out. It'll take time, Kent. So I suggest you change your mind and stay the night.
Oh, I don't know. How long will it take to fix these tires?
Oh, an hour or two at least. By that time, it'll be close to dark.
Frankly, Kent, it wouldn't be good for Jimmy, driving those awful mountain roads and being out in the night air and all that.
But holy mackerel, Tumbleweed said he'd have that surprise.
Well, Jimmy, I'm afraid the surprise will have to wait until tomorrow. All right, Doc, you win. Jimmy and I will stay over till tomorrow morning.
Unaware of the exciting events taking place back at the ranch, Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen decide to remain at the doctor's another night. Yet at that very same moment, back in the cave...
In another few seconds, Tumbleweed, you're a dead man. Well, ain't you going to beg me to let you go? Ain't you going to plead with me to spare your life?
I ain't begging, Rawson.
No, Tumbleweed. Well, then, I'm shooting. Oh, Mom! Mom!
Sorry, but I had to shoot first.
Comanche Joe, what are you doing here?
Saving your life at the moment,
And
Tumbleweed.
getting yourself into danger. Dang you, Comanche, we tossed a coin, didn't we? And I won the toss, didn't I?
You forgot to take the coin with you, Tumbleweed. When I found out it had 2 heads, you couldn't possibly have lost. It's a good thing I decided. Rawson, stay where you are. Don't try to move back into this cave.
I know I ain't got a chance, Comanche, but neither have you. There ain't one of us going to leave here alive. Put down that gun, I don't.
All right. You asked for it.
What? You come in. Oh, Comanche, what? He got you, didn't he?
Yes, Tumbleweed. But I got him, too. Rawson?
I'm finished again.
Fine mess. All 3 of us badly wounded. We'd better move out of here. Get some first aid. Tumbleweed, do you think you can...
Comanche, wait, listen. That rumbling near the entrance.
What?
Look out. Look out, the walls up there is caving in.
All that shooting, that's what did it.
Well, the rock has stopped falling. But it's dark in here now. Pitch black. Comanche, what do you think?
We're walled up. Hundreds of tons of rock. The entrance to the cave is completely blocked off.
Do you think they can get through to it?
Rawson, Tumbleweed, I think we'd better face it. We're wounded, all 3 of us, in a pretty bad condition. In another few hours, the air in here is going to start getting low. They've got to reach us in 2 or 3 hours.
Do you think they will? Do you think they'll be able to get through all that rock in a couple of hours?
No, Tumbleweed. No.
Trapped. Entombed within the cave, Comanche, Tumbleweed, and Rawson are in a pretty bad way. Can Superman, having decided to remain in town and unaware of their danger, possibly help them? Be sure to hear the next thrilling episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman.
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. The adventure of the Howling Coyote is rapidly coming to a close. Visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, wealthy Indian oil man, Superman, as Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen have been in the thick of many accidents, all of which have been preceded by the strange howling of a coyote. In our last episode, we heard how Rawson, the man responsible for all these accidents, was finally cornered and driven into a mountain cave where he prepared to fight for his life. Tumbleweed Jones, Jimmy's close friend, and Comanche Joe both went into the cave to capture Rawson. A gunfight resulted in a cave-in, which blocked up the entrance to the cave and trapped all 3 men. Seriously wounded, the air within the cave rapidly being used up, things looked very bad for them. Meanwhile, unaware of the danger threatening their friends, Clark Kent and Jimmy had decided to spend another night in town with the doctor who had operated on Jimmy some time before. Listen.
Gee, Doc, it sure is swell.
Yes?
That fire makes us feel warm and cozy in here.
Well, have some more popcorn, Jimmy?
Oh, gosh, no. I'm going to bust any minute as it is.
Jimmy, I think you'd better go on up to bed. You need your rest.
Oh, gee, Mr. Kent, let me stay up just a little while longer.
Well, I'll leave that up to the doctor.
Well, just a few minutes longer, Jimmy. Then off it.
I'm not even sure I'll be able to sleep tonight. Wondering what that surprise is that Tumbleweed said he'd have for me. I wonder what old Tumbleweed's doing now.
Probably back at the ranch house kitchen making fudge.
Yeah, there's a character. I'll never forget the night that Superman brought him and Jimmy to my door.
What'd you say, Doc? Superman?
You must have misunderstood me, Jimmy.
Oh, sir, I don't think I did. You said Superman brought tumbleweed and meteor.
The heat of that fire's making you sleepy, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You're beginning to imagine things.
Of course.
Yeah, maybe I am. Mr. Kent, why don't you call the ranch house on the telephone and find out if they caught Rawson yet?
Oh, it'd be a waste of time, Jimmy. Comanche and Tumbleweed both know we're anxious to learn about Rawson the minute they capture him. I'm sure they'll call us when they do.
I guess so. I can't help worrying about Tumbleweed, though.
Oh, great heavens. Jimmy, don't you ever talk about anyone else? It's been tumbleweed, tumbleweed, tumbleweed all the time you've been here.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get a little jealous. I thought I was Jimmy's hero.
Oh, you are, Mr. Kent. Let's forget it, or I'm going to be sounding like a sissy.
Yes, and besides, I think you've done enough talking for one night. Now, ought to go to bed, young man.
Okay, Doc. Mr. Kent. Yes, Jimmy? I got a funny feeling that maybe everything isn't all right back at that ranch.
No, Jimmy.
Rawson's a pretty tough guy, Mr. Kent. They ever cornered him. Would you mind telephoning just to kind of be sure that everything's okay?
Well, Jimmy, I'll tell you what I'll do. If Comanche or Tumbleweed haven't called us by the time I come up to bed, I'll call them, okay?
Okay, Mr. Kent.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, Jimmy. Good night. He's a great youngster, Kent. I'll be sorry to see him go tomorrow morning. He and that tumbleweed feller certainly have taken a shine to each other. What's the surprise Tumbleweed's got for him?
Why, it's a bow and arrow set, I believe.
Oh,
say, that fire is hot, you know. I think I'll roll up my sleeves if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Say, that story you told me about the howling of the coyote, that's pretty interesting. How do you figure Rawson makes the coyote howl whenever he wants him to?
Well, the nearest I can come to a solution to that, Doc, is that Rawson had somehow managed to train a coyote to howl whenever he... Well, what are you staring at, Doc?
Your arm, Kent.
My arm?
I didn't see it, of course, until you rolled up your sleeve just now. That mark on your forearm.
What about it, Doc?
Have you given any blood transfusions lately, Kent?
Transfusion? That's a silly question, Doc. Of course not. Oh, that mark. No, that mark, you see, I made that with a knife. Mm-hmm. I was fiddling a piece of wood and slipped with a knife.
Oh.
Doesn't sound as if you don't believe me.
Well, it must be coincidence, of course, but the other night when Jimmy was dying and needed a blood transfusion...
Blood transfusion? Jimmy dying? Well, this is the first I've heard of that.
No.
You told me you'd performed an operation and that Jimmy came through it with flying colors.
I've said too much already, Kent. Well, I promised I'd never breathe a word of it to anyone.
Oh, Doc, I'm sorry. I don't understand this.
I'd rather change the subject, if you don't mind.
Well...
Now, listen, about Rawson and that Howling Coyote.
I, Crippled Wolf.
You close, keep running, Buck.
Is there a word? Is there a sign from those within the cave?
No word, no sign.
But my son, Comanche Joe, he trapped inside that cave. 2 other men with him. If even now they are not dead, there is not much time.
Hundreds of tons of rock seal up caves. It takes long time to move them away.
How long?
The sun must rise and set 3 times.
Too long. Too long. But my son shall be saved.
Not so.
Hark, you chief Crippled Wolf. When moon was full, not long ago, new warrior came to us. White man call him Jimmy. We call him Laughing Square.
Of this I know.
Life of Laughing Square is protected by eagle in shape of man. White men call him Superman. We will beg him come and help us. Beg him save my son and men with him inside cave.
Maybe help, maybe no.
I decree it. Call warriors together. Make ready with ceremonial drum. We will call upon eagle in shape of man. We will call upon Superman.
It is done.
Hola, Maquina! Hola, Maquina!
For the 3 men, Comanche Joe, Tumbleweed, and Rawson, trapped within the cave, it may be too late. 3 fatal hours have gone by since the walls caved in. Yet the Indians prepare to call for help on their new god, the eagle in the shape of a man. It doesn't seem possible that Superman can aid his friends, for even now, as Clark Kent, he sits chatting with the doctor in the doctor's home.
Killed.
course, your young friend Jimmy being badly hurt by that horse.
Mm-hmm. Rawson must have been behind that, too, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I imagine Comanche's tribesmen will capture him before long. That'll put an end to the whole rotten business.
I hope so.
Well, frankly, I'm going to enjoy getting back to Metropolis. I haven't seen Editor White for a long time.
To say nothing of the young lady you mentioned, Miss Lois Lane.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be happy to see her, too, of course.
I guess.
Oh, well, Doctor, it's getting late. I'd better be getting along to bed. You said the man would be over from the garage to fix those tires in the morning, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, he'll be here early, and you can get an early start.
Good. Well, then, I think I'll be off to bed. I almost forgot.
Yeah?
I promised Jimmy I'd call the ranch house and see if everything's all right.
Oh, yes, so you did. There's the phone right there beside you.
Oh, yes, thanks. Let's see, I don't know the number.
Just ask for the ranch house. Operator will get it for you.
Oh, good. I'm surprised at Jimmy being so upset about... hello? Yes, would you get me the ranch house of Comanche Joe, please? That's right. Thanks. What's that? Oh, fine. All right. And she'll call me back if she gets it.
Good. Kent, I'm certainly going to miss you. I used to practice in the city, you know, and although I enjoy the life out here, it does get pretty monotonous at times.
I imagine so.
Done me a world of good just being able to talk with you.
Well, I've enjoyed it tremendously myself. You've been awfully good, Doctor, and I can't tell you how I appreciate what you've done for Jimmy.
Well, that's my job, Mr. Kent. Hello, listen.
Sounds like drums beating in the hills. I thought I heard them.
Well, you recall, Kent, I mentioned that on a quiet night you could hear one tribe sending messages to another tribe by means of the drum language.
Yes. Do you notice anything peculiar about those drums?
No, you?
I just had a feeling. I can't put my finger on it. No, it's nothing, I'm sure. I wish that operator would call back.
Oh, you're getting jumpy. How about a little snack before going to bed? Cheese and crackers and some warm milk. You'll sleep better.
Oh, I don't mind if I do. I am feeling a little hungry.
Well, let's raid the icebox. Come on into the kitchen.
All right, with you.
Uh-oh, no, wait. That's your call.
Yes. Hello? Yes. What? Oh, I see. No, don't bother. All right, good night.
What is it, Kent?
The operator says no one answers at the ranch. Funny?
Oh, no. They're probably all joining in the hunt for Rawson.
Yeah, probably. Very strange, those drums beating out there.
What about them, Kent?
I don't know exactly. It's just that they give me a sort of peculiar feeling.
Oh, nonsense. You've been through such an exciting time during these past few weeks, you're all unnerved.
Unnerved? Me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yes, I suppose there may be something to that. I mean, it's odd. I don't know. I've just got a feeling those drums are trying to say something to me, and I can't understand what it is.
Oh, of course you can. I certainly don't see why you'd want to. Come on into the kitchen and have some cheese and crackers and milk. You'll sleep better for it, Kent.
Huh? Excuse me, those drums. I guess I'm just imagining things. All right, Doctor. Lead the way to the kitchen and watch me eat you out of house and home.
But Superman is not imagining things. Those drums, the ceremonial drums of the Comanche tribe, are calling to him for help. Calling for him to aid his friends Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed Jones. Yes, and Rawson, too. Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode of our exciting story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. The transcription feature, Superman. Sky.
Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Superman.
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. Visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, a wealthy Indian oil man, Superman, as Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen have had many stirring adventures. Kent had come to the ranch to investigate for his paper the weird howling of a coyote, which occurred every time an accident was about to happen. In our last episode, we heard how Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed Jones, Jimmy's close friends, in trying to capture the villainous Rawson, were trapped in a cave when the entrance to the cave collapsed. Warriors of the Comanche tribe worked for hours trying to extricate them, but without success. Finally, in desperation, Chief Running Fox of the tribe decided to call upon the eagle in the shape of a man, as they call Superman, for help. Ceremonial drums began to beat. But Superman, staying the night at a doctor's home on the other side of the mountains, was unaware of the grave danger threatening his friend. Listen.
Well, there you are, Kent. Cheese, crackers, and some warm milk.
Ah.
Milk will make you sleep like a top.
Thanks, Doc.
Kent, you're still worried about those Indian drums beating off in the hills, aren't you?
Oh, I'm not worried exactly. It's just that... Well, I don't know, Doc. I got a strange feeling they're trying to say something I can't understand.
Oh, nonsense. Indians are probably just holding a little tribal ceremony tonight.
Well, I don't see how that could be so. I just called the ranch house and no one answered.
Uh-huh.
That means only one thing. This Rawson business isn't settled. Either they haven't captured him, or if they have, something's gone wrong.
But I don't...
Those Indians, the entire Comanche tribe, are supposed to be out tracking Rawson down. Well, if that's so, why should they be holding a ceremony of some sort? It doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe they've just captured Rawson, and they're celebrating his capture.
Well, that's possible, but
What?
Mr. Kent.
Jimmy!
What are you doing out of bed, young man?
Those drums beating in the hills.
What about them, Jimmy?
Something's wrong, Mr. Kent.
Huh?
I told you I can understand a good deal of the Comanche drum language. Chief Running Fox taught me.
Yes, I know, but...
Something terrible has happened to Tumbleweed and Comanche Joe.
What?
I can't tell what it is. I don't know enough about the drum language. But something has happened to them, and the Indians are calling to the eagle in the shape of a man for help.
What?
Eagle in the shape of a man.
Well, that's what they call Superman. Mr. Kent, we gotta do something. Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed are in terrible danger. That's what those drums are saying. That's why they're calling on Superman.
Yes, Jimmy, I know.
You were right about those drums, Kent. They were trying to send a message.
For heaven's sake, stop standing there talking and do something. We gotta get back to the ranch, and we gotta get back right now.
How can we, Jimmy? We've got two flat
You
tires.
can take my car, Kent.
Oh, good.
There isn't much gas in it. While you and Jimmy are getting ready, I'll drive down to the garage and get the tank filled.
No, wait.
Huh?
I'll get the gas.
Well...
You stay here and help Jimmy get ready.
very well, Kent. Anything you say.
I won't be long. Is there a key in the car?
Yes, and I don't think you'll have any difficulty, Kent.
No, I suppose I will. I won't be long. This is a job for Superman. Whatever's to be done must be done quickly. And I didn't see how I could get away from Jimmy and the doctor. That's solved now. I'll take the car, drive a short distance down the street, then leave it and make for the ranch. I may be able to save Comanche and Tumbleweed from whatever danger threatens and get back before I'm discovered. There's the car. Got to hurry. Now then, I'll leave the car here and make for the ranch. Let's hope I'm in time. Up, and away!
Meanwhile, as Superman streaks through the night, within the mountain cave, Comanche Joe, Tumbleweed Jones, and Rawson face death. Listen.
Tumbleweed?
I hear you, Comanche.
You all right?
Feel kind of weak. Can't breathe none too good.
It's the air in here. That's what it is. We won't last much longer.
Shut up, Rawson.
I want to talk. I gotta talk. Just sitting here in the blackness with the air getting scarcer and scarcer. Sitting here waiting for death. I gotta do something.
Here's some fudge. Try tune on that. How much longer you think we got, Comanche?
Not much.
It's hard to breathe. Every time I take a breath, my chest, it pains in my chest.
Why don't you keep quiet, Rawson? We're all going through the same thing. We know how you feel.
No, you don't know. It's worse for me. You two can die peaceful. For me, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of a lot of things. I gotta confess before I die. I gotta get forgiveness. I can't die now. I ain't ready. I ain't ready to die.
Who is ready to die? A lot of things I'd like to do, too, before I go. Shucks. Never did finish that bow and arrow set for little laughing squirrel. Now, there's a yarn for you. Mighty fine boy. Funny thing, he's the only reason I hate to go out. Him and me, we was going to have a lot of fun together.
Stop talking, both of you. Air in here, pretty bad. Use more of it when you talk.
Okay, Comanche. Won't say another word.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here.
You haven't a chance, Rawson, unless they get to us in time.
And I reckons how they ain't going to do that.
Why don't we help? Why don't we just sit here? They're probably working to us from the other side, ain't they?
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? Of course they're working toward us, trying to get us out. You don't think they wouldn't? Wait, listen.
Shut your
I
talking.
can hear them.
Shut your talking.
I can hear them. They're digging, that's what they're doing. They're digging their way forward. And we're just sitting here, not doing anything to help. We've got to help. Come on. Give me a hand here. Help me get these rocks out of the way. Come on, do you hear? Give me a hand here. These rocks are too big for one man. I got to get this rock out of the way. I got to... Wait. I don't hear him anymore.
You never did hear them. You just imagined it, Rawson, and now shut up.
I heard him, I tell you. I heard him all right. But I don't hear them now. They've stopped digging. They're giving up, that's what. They decided we're dead in here, and they're giving up. But they can't give up. They can't. Hello. Hello out there. Come back. Don't stop digging. We're still alive, do you hear? We're still alive.
Rawson.
Help me get out and come at you. I know I'm responsible for all this. It's all my fault. But we got to get out of here, Comanche. Help us, get out.
I'll help you, Rawson.
I reckon as how that was the only way you could help him, Comanche.
I reckon.
He's lucky. He won't know when he stops breathing, but we'll know, Comanche. We'll know. Comanche. He's unconscious. I guess that effort that caused him to hit Rawson was too much for him. And I reckon as how effort or no effort, it's too much for me.
Crippled wolf.
Keep running, Fox.
From speak long time. Long time we call upon eagle in shape of man. He not come.
No.
He must come. He must hear our cry for aid.
If he come not soon, it be too late. Even now, too late.
I'll speak you, crippled wolf.
3, 4 hours. Men in cave. They cannot live that long. Been saying to trees.
I feel there's something wrong. Eagle in shape of man not come. Maybe he not hear us. I, Chief Running Fox, will call to him myself. Eagle in shape of man, help us. Superman, help us. Help us.
I hope I'm in time. But in time for what? I have no idea at all of what has happened. I only know that Comanche and Tumbleweed need me. There's the ranch house below me. I'll go down and... No, wait. Ranch house is dark. There's not a light showing anywhere. But there's a glow of some kind up on the mountain. Yes. And the sound of the drums is coming from there. Whatever the trouble is, I'm sure to find it up there on the mountain. Faster, faster. Yes, there are the Indians below me, dancing around that huge bonfire and beating on drums. What can the trouble be? What danger is threatening Tumbleweed and Comanche? I'll circle down a little lower and try to find out. Down, down.
Hear me! Hear me! They are trapped within cave where burn torches.
Trapped in the cave where burn the torches.
Help them, O eagle in shape of man! Help them! Help them!
Yes. I see now. There must have been a cave-in. Well, it won't be difficult to get through. But am I in time? That's the question. Am I in time? Down! Down!
Is Superman too late? Will he reach the stricken men in time to save them? Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Look, it's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. The adventure of the Howling Coyote, the adventure which took Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen to the ranch of Comanche Joe, a wealthy Indian oil man, is rapidly drawing to a close. Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed Jones, Jimmy's close friend, were forced to enter a mountain cave where the villainous Rawson was hiding in order to capture him. A gun battle ensued, and the shots resulted in a terrific cave-in, trapping all three men. In our last episode, we heard how they finally lapsed into unconsciousness because of lack of air. And then, some time later, just before the episode ended, Superman arrived on the scene.
Listen. Here's the entrance to the cave. I'll batter my way through that fallen rock with my fists. Hurl it down the hill. If only I'm in time. If only it's not too late. Well, here goes. It's going to take a little longer than I expected. Must be tons of rock blocking up this entrance. I wonder how long Tumbleweed and Comanche have been trapped inside with Rawson. Now then, if I can just get through this big boulder, summon all my strength. Now then. There. I made it. I've gotten through to them. Now, let's see. Yes, there they are. Comanche, Tumbleweed, and Rawson. Are they still alive, I wonder? Better get them out into the open. Here, throw Comanche over my shoulder. Pick up Tumbleweed in this hand. And Rawson in this. There we are. Better leave them here at the entrance to the cave. Here come the Indians now. They'll do whatever's necessary to revive them, if they can be revived. I'd better hurry back to town before Jimmy and the doctor discover my absence. Away!
Where's Mr. Kent, Doctor? Why doesn't he get back here?
Take it easy, Jimmy. He'll be here.
Well, he said he wouldn't be long. He only went as far as the garage to get some gas for that car of yours. You don't suppose something happened to him, do you?
Huh?
Maybe we better call the garage.
Oh, no, Jimmy. But I don't think it'd be a bad idea if we called the ranch.
Oh, why call the ranch? We know something's wrong. We know something's happened to Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed.
Oh, you never know, Jimmy. They might be out of danger by this time. And you could take it easy instead of rushing back there. I'll telephone. Won't do any harm at any rate. Hello? Hello? Give me Comanche Joe's ranch house, please. Oh, I'll hold on.
Gosh, I wish Mr. Kent would get back here. What can be keeping him? He's been gone for over half an hour. We ought to be out at the ranch doing what we can to help Tumbleweed and Comanche Joe.
You'll get there soon enough. Maybe they don't even... Oh, hello? This is Dr. Parker calling. To whom am I talking? Oh, Pat. Pat, we understood something had happened to Comanche Joe and... What's that? Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Oh, yes, I see. Yes. Well, Pat, will you tell them that Mr. Kent and Jimmy Olsen will be there in another few hours? That's right. Do you think you'll need me to dress their wounds? All right, then. I won't bother to come. Goodbye. Jimmy, your worries are over.
You mean Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed are okay?
I talked to a man named Pat. He said that your friends had been trapped inside a cave. Gone into the cave to capture Rawson, and the entrance had caved in. They were unconscious when the Indians finally got them out.
Oh, then the Indians saved them.
Well, Pat says they were actually saved by a man the Indians call the Eagle in the shape of a man. He says the Indians claimed this new god of theirs battered his way through the fallen rock and brought the men out just in the nick of time. Of course, he doesn't believe it.
Well, what do you mean, of course he doesn't believe it?
Huh?
The eagle in the shape of a man is really Superman. Now, don't start telling me Superman doesn't exist, because I know he does. I've seen him.
Now, Jimmy.
Sure, and come to think of it, those Indians were calling for Superman to help them. I believe their story if nobody else does. Superman was the one who saved those men and nobody else. Oh, boy, what a relief. I can relax now that I know Tumbleweed's okay.
And Comanche Joe.
Oh, sure, him too. Oh, that must be Mr. Kent.
Oh, yes. I'll open the door.
Hello. Sorry
Hello.
to take so long.
Did you have any trouble, Kent?
Yeah, where have you been all this time, Mr. Kent?
I'm afraid I lost my way. I couldn't find the garage and wasted some time looking for it.
Oh?
But it's okay. I've got the gas and we can get started right away.
Well, now, there's no hurry, Kent.
No, hurry.
No, Mr. Kent. We just telephoned the ranch house and they told us Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed are okay. Superman saved them.
Who saved them?
The man I spoke to said the Indians claimed the men had been rescued by Superman.
Why, that's ridiculous.
Yes, isn't it?
Well, Jimmy, we'd better get started anyway. You all ready?
I sure am. And what the doctor said about Superman isn't ridiculous.
Okay, Jimmy. Go on out to the car now. I want to talk to the doctor for a minute.
Okay. So long, Doc, and many thanks for everything.
Well, you're very welcome, Jimmy. Goodbye and good luck. And give my regards to Tumbleweed.
I will. See you in the car, Mr. Kent.
All right, Jimmy. Now, Doc, what I want to talk to you about is your bill.
My bill?
Certainly, for the operation you performed on Jimmy.
Oh.
If you let me know what it is, I'll send you a check in the morning.
Well, that's awfully nice of you, Kent, but there's no charge for what I did.
What?
The companionship you two have afforded me in the past few days is ample payment.
Oh, but
Now,
Doc...
there are no buts, my friend. Just forget it.
Well, many thanks, then. I'll have one of the ranch hands drive your car back in the morning. He can come back to the ranch in Comanches. Well, this is goodbye.
I'm really terribly sorry to see you go, Kent. Funny, I was leading a rather dull life here until you came along.
What do you mean?
Well, it's hard for me to explain. Some strange things happened here the night your young friend Jimmy was brought in. Things I'm not at liberty to talk about. Now this report from the ranch that your friends were saved by Superman. Simply can't understand it. You don't suppose Superman really exists, do you?
Well, frankly, Doc, the idea of a Superman is so fantastic that I'd hardly give it a thought if I were you.
I suppose you've got something there. But I certainly can't bring myself to believe that I dreamed all the things that have happened to me. Especially what happened in that operating room when Jimmy Olsen was at the point of death.
Yes, what did happen in that operating room, Doc?
What? I can't answer that, Kent. I gave my word that I wouldn't breathe a word of it to anyone.
I see. Well, once again, goodbye, Doc.
Goodbye, Kent. Take it easy on those mountain roads with Jimmy, especially driving in that antique Comanche Joe.
Jimmy, I've just checked up and your train leaves in a little while. I wish you could stay with us longer.
Can't do it, Comanche. Now that the case of the Howling Coyote is cleared up, Editor White will expect us both back on the job.
Yes, I suppose so. Well, everything's turned out for the best. Too bad about Rawson. Although he was my enemy, I'm sorry he died.
Say, gee, I almost forgot. Did you find out how he made the coyote howl?
Yes, Jimmy. Would you like to see how Rawson did it?
Gosh, I sure would.
Well, then I'll show you. Watch.
What? Holy mackerel, Mr. Kent. Did you hear that?
I certainly did, Jimmy. It was a coyote, and here it comes now.
Well, I'll be... Why, it's a real coyote.
Yes, Jimmy. It's a coyote Rawson used. He'd made a pet of it and trained it to howl whenever he gave the signal.
What signal? I didn't hear any signal.
You'll understand when I take this whistle out of my mouth.
Whistle?
Yes, here it is. Tiny whistle which can be concealed in the mouth. It makes a sound so high, only the ear of a coyote or dog can hear it. It's impossible for the human ear to catch it, to know it is so high.
Sure, I've seen those whistles back in Metropolis. They're used for training dogs.
That's right. Well, I've decided to keep the little coyote as a pet. Look here, we're wasting time. You two better get started. I'll ride with you to the station.
Oh, where's Tumbleweed? Isn't he going to say goodbye?
Oh, I was afraid you'd get around to that. Tumbleweed just couldn't face saying goodbye, Jimmy.
Oh.
He asked me to give you these.
Bow and arrow with a quiver and everything. Gee. Tell him thanks for me, will you, Comanche?
Yes, Jimmy, I'll do that.
Come on, Jim. We've got to get going.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure.
So let's go.
Comanche, what goes on here?
All the boys on the ranch and the entire Comanche reservation are going to accompany you two down to the station.
What?
It's a great honor, Kent.
I should say it is.
You don't see Tumbleweed around, do you?
No, Jimmy, I don't. Say, now, snap out of it. Tumbleweed's doing the right thing, Jimmy. It'd be a lot harder to say goodbye, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Up on those horses, you two. Let's get started.
Okay.
Train won't wait, you know. Let's go, man.
Well, goodbye, Comanche. I'm looking forward to our next visit, whenever that'll be.
Any time at all, Kent. Any time at all.
Thanks.
Goodbye, Jimmy.
Goodbye, Comanche. And thank Tumbleweed for the bow and arrow set.
I will, Jim.
Well, here we go. Come on, Comanche.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Well, Jimmy, I kind of hate to be leaving. Looking back on our trip out here, I've enjoyed it, despite all the accidents and misfortunes we had. I certainly hope we... Oh, say, now, look here. You've got to take it like a man, Jim.
I'm all right, Mr. Kent. It's just that Tumbleweed didn't say goodbye.
Well, now, Jim, it isn't as if you'll never see Tumbleweed again.
Of course it ain't.
What? Tumbleweed?
Have some fudge, laughing squirrel.
Where'd you come from, Tumbleweed? What are you doing on this train?
Jimmy, we've arranged to have Tumbleweed come and visit us in the city.
You mean to say you're coming with us all the way to the city, Tumbleweed?
Sure am, if you don't mind.
Mind? Why, you old horse thief. You bow-legged bronco busting loco hombre. You're rooting.